Check, 1 2 1 2. Let's see if these microphones are right. We getting things started up in here. If you in the live chat, go ahead and let us know you in here. I see Damien is already here. What's up, fellas? What's up to you, Damien? How are you doing? I hope you are doing swell. Anyway, so I'm just testing things out, so y'all just gonna have to listen to me as I test this stuff out. If you can hear me good, put a 1 in the chat. I don't know who all there. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me pretty good. I hear myself pretty good. K-Bum, let me see what you sound like, bro.
Yeah, 1s and 2s, 3s and 4s.
All right. Well, go ahead and mute yourself. We about to get started. Let's go. It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busted. Yeah, check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bum 20 on the MIC. Jet Eye Night all the way in Germany. Leveled head, you know who that boy be. What I say? Live and level, live and level. We on the MIC. Live and level, live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level, live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level. All right. What's up, people? We are here. We are in the building. We are here. We are ready to go. Yeah. Ooh. I'm making all kind of noise over here. Woo! What's up, folks? What's up? LT 1984, what's up? Damien, what's up? Zim, what's up? I feel y'all are in the live chat. Anyway, what's up, people? Go ahead, let me know where you at, when you at, and how you at. And I'm going to bring K-Bum on. What's up, K-Bum?
Boy, you are on some extra today.
We got something to talk about, bro. We got something to talk. I'm not high. I'm not high, Sim. levels are high. I said levels are high. All right, the levels are high. Okay, I'll turn it down. Hold up, let me turn it down.
You said levels high, not levels high.
Yeah, I thought he said levels high. Okay, I got you. My bad. But welcome to the show. We happy that y'all here. We got your ears and your eardrums kind of woke up now. Right now, it's just me and K-Bum. Keith will be jumping in shortly. Hopefully, Jedi and D2K will be getting in here as well. People, we got something to talk about. Yes, we got something to finally talk about in gaming. We late to the party. We late to the conversation, but it doesn't matter because y'all was just waiting for us to come. Y'all just want to hear what we got to say. Y'all don't care about what nobody else got to say, do y'all? Do y'all really care about what other podcasts and other people got to say? I hope you do, because I don't want y'all just waiting around for us, because you won't hear nothing for a while. What's up, Jedi? See you up in here. All right, so what's good, K-Bun? What's good, man? What's good, bro?
Man, I'm up here getting my butt stomped in this fantasy football, man.
Fantasy. Who your fantasy team? What's up, Jedi?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up? We live.
We live, bro.
Okay,
welcome to the show. Say hello to the peoples.
Hello, people. Men and women for the world. Jedi Knight is here. Late as
What's
usual.
up,
Completely interrupting conversations in the podcast. How you doing, fellas?
We're doing good, bro. So it's just me, you, and K-Bum right now. Keith should be on shortly, and I think D2K will jump in eventually if he ain't working. I didn't get a chance to really see who and where everybody was, but we up in this joint. So you said you're getting your butt stomped in the fantasy football?
Yeah, man, I'm getting stomped. Apparently, Mr. Aaron Jones for the Packers decided to have a career day and have over 200 total yards and 3 touchdowns against me. And so, he single-handedly beat my entire team pretty much. So it's going to be one of those days today. It's going to be one of those days.
That's something I really don't know how to. I have never really participated in a fantasy football league or thing, so you probably had to bring my understandings up to speed on how they work. I know y'all pick different players, so it's not really based on a team, but actually individual stats and statistics, I guess.
Yeah. When you're talking about offense, it's mostly talking about the individual. Like you pick an individual quarterback and running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker. But then for the whole defense, you pick an entire team as your defense, and you get whatever points they get, or how many points they let up, or interceptions, and so on and so on. So it's pretty much like that, and it makes Sundays unique, because especially if you're a fan of a certain team, but you have a player on another team, and they're playing your favorite team. You kind of wish things like, I need that person to score all the touchdowns, but I still need to lose. You know what I'm saying? It gets very interesting on Sundays.
Okay.
Playing fantasy football. But it's legit, man. It's cool. Make Sundays different.
All right, that's what's up. Jedi, man, what's been good with you, man?
Chilling, man, maintaining. I'm actually not playing fantasy this year. I usually play fantasy football with some friends back in the States and a friend of mine in Australia. But I'm assuming with the whole situation with coronavirus, I actually didn't hear anything. So I just left it as people are not doing it this year. It's good that K-Bomb's doing it though. Fantasy football is always fun. I've won my league one time, but it's actually pretty difficult to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually won it 3 times in my league. 3 times, and then I won it back-to-back once. So
nice.
Pretty legit. I'm cool.
Kevin O said, I hope you didn't have Atlanta's defense. What's up, Kevin? Welcome to the show. You first time. I ain't never seen your name down in yonders, but we welcome you to our live chat. We are very entertaining, and we do keep up with what y'all saying in the chat. So if you posting stuff, you might hear what you posted live on the podcast. So anyway, we won't keep this thing going. We got so much to talk about. We want to give ourselves enough time to talk about it. So we're going to move on to our next part of this situation, and that's what you been gaming on. Let's go. Yeah. You know what time it is. It's time for What Have You? Put your hands together in the sanctuary of gamedom. Sing it, folks. Let's clap. Go. Come on. Hey. What you been gaming on? Taking y'all to church on Sunday. What you been gaming on? What you been clap where you at? See him, I like the fist. Come on. What you been gaming on? What you been gaming where the tambourine at? Hey. What you been gaming on? Gaming on. Gaming on. Gaming on. They like, boy, they got some old soul up in there. So, K-Bomb, what you been gaming on, bro? Yeah. What you been gaming on, man?
What I've been gaming on. So it's funny, man. It's funny. No, I'll be quick. It's funny because I got NBA 2K21 from GameFly, right? And it is still in the package. I have not given it any time. I have not taken it out the package. I have not put it in. This game is for the current gen. They have thrown in a towel. It has gotten. I'm not even going to waste my time playing it. All of my boys that I play with on a daily basis when it comes to 2K, none of them have it. None of them are going to get it on the current console. They phoned it in for the current console. I'm just going to wait till next gen. So I'm probably going to go ahead and send it back to GameFly. Not even open it and take up space on my hard drive. Just go ahead and send it back to GameFly. Tell them they can take that back, keep that, and probably try to go get something else. So that's what I have not been gaming on is that. But still with my buddies playing 2K20 still, because that's still pretty fun. Playing Madden 2021 since that came out. I don't know if you guys heard, but that game has had some serious issues. What people don't understand is, well, I work in
Fixed Madden franchise. Fixed Madden franchise.
they got slammed because of that. That's on them. That what they presented for the franchise was absolutely garbage. That was hot garbage, and they needed to get slammed every bit of that. And hopefully they're making some big changes. They stated they're doing that, so we'll see. I'm still not guaranteed that Madden's gonna make the right choice when it comes to franchise. But outside of that, they've had serious problems with the game. And for me, being a developer myself, so I do code. I am a developer.
You make
I
games?
will say that. No, not games. Just a developer.
I was gonna say, man, give us the hookup, Jedi. We like, what a hookup, man.
I'm a computer programmer, but I'm not a video game programmer. But COVID has had a big impact on the way that we work, because we're usually working together side by side with the developers, with the testers, with the producers, with the scrum masters, in the same building. But COVID has really put impact on a lot of just development in general, not just game development, but just development in general, like what I do for my job. And so it's no surprise to me that there's so many bugs in a lot of these new games coming out, because how do you properly test the game to get testers? How do you properly allow them to get the game to test it? Because usually they're all in the same building, you're all in the same place, and you're able to get people to sit down and play the game and test it. So I'm not surprised by the amount of bugs that's in these games coming out now, but geez, some stuff is just really bad. But other than that, I'm playing, like I said, Madden, 2K. I've got away from
Ghost.
Ghost a little bit, because I've been playing. FIFA. I'm sorry. Me and my buddies, we've been playing FIFA, and so most of my games you hear I play is mostly multiplayers, and it's usually with a group of friends that we all play together. And so we've also been playing FIFA, all four of us against, it's kind of the same thing as 2K when it's humans against humans, and we've been playing that a lot lately, getting pretty good at that, and a little bit of Apex Legends with another group of friends that I play. I'm pretty good at it, actually. It's pretty legit. And then trying to get back into Ghost, because I've upped my multiplayer gaming, and so I've got away from Ghost, but I got to get back to it because it's a legit game and I really need to finish it. So that's what I've been doing.
Where did you stop in Ghost before I bring Jedi?
I'll say it. So I'm in the third and final chapter. I believe the third chapter is the final chapter. So I've gotten past the part that you got with what happened to your horse and everything like that, and I'm in the north. And I've just fought at another castle.
Okay.
So I've established my foothold in the north. So I haven't went and fought the Khan yet. So I'm not at that point.
Okay, you just a tad bit farther than me.
I'm a tad bit ahead.
Okay, I just making sure. I was like, I ain't letting K-Bomb outrun me this time.
Yeah, I ain't played in a while, man. So you catching up on me.
I ain't played in about a week, but I'm in the north too. I'm in the cold weathers. But anyway, let's bring Jedi up in here. What you been gaming on, bro? First of all, man.
Hold on.
Oh, Mr. Norris is in the building, folks. Do you hear how he just bombarded in? What's up, Mr. Norris?
Hey, what's going on? I'm driving, so I might have like a background noise, but I'm gonna mute myself again. But K-Bum, before we bring in Jedi Knight, K-Bum, I know you don't develop video games, but I wonder if you have like a behind the scenes like viewing of like how games like the 2Ks or whatever, like these games, we criticize these games every year for kind of like being the same, the Maddens, the 2Ks, the annual type games, but yet you mentioned bugs. How can these annual games that seem to use the same code have bugs? You got any insight on that?
Absolutely. One thing, the core of the game is what the game is built on. So it's like a game engine, and each iteration of Madden is built on this core game engine, and that's why you have a lot of the same, some of the same gameplay issues going from season to season. But what they're doing is they're putting new code on top of this base engine, and so they're putting new code on how players react. They're putting new code on how franchises ran, whatever they put on there wasn't much. They're putting new code how MUT works, you know what I'm saying? So they're putting all this this code intertwined with the old code. And so if you're putting these new systems tied with the older systems, they have to be able to talk well together. And if they don't, that's when you start seeing bugs and issues and problems. And so when you have these games continue from season to season, the reason why you're seeing some of the bugs is because they're putting new code on top of the old code, or intertwined with the old code. And if it's not properly tested, right, that these systems that's talking to each other now and that previously wasn't, it isn't working correctly, then you're going to start seeing some crazy and some big issues and bugs that can hinder and completely break the game. And that's where you're seeing some of the issues with Madden, because it wasn't the individual pieces probably was tested, but how it works as a whole probably wasn't tested. What we call that end-to-end testing is what we call that end-to-end, which is from the beginning to the end. You can test things as a component.
That end-to-end testing.
Hey, he asked me.
No, I'm just saying, man. You
so
putting out some
test
knowledge. I just want them to take note. As a preacher, man, I would told them to underline this part in the end. Underline it.
When you're testing individual pieces, that's called component testing. You're just testing those individual pieces. When you're testing two pieces together, that's integration. So that's integration testing the two pieces. Then you have the end-to-end testing that goes from the beginning of the product to the end of the product. And what I feel is that the end-to-end piece probably wasn't done properly because of Corona and all the issues that they had. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of these bugs and issues is with the new stuff talking to the old stuff. So that's my insight.
Now y'all just got a full breakdown. Y'all better take note. You said. Say it again, man. All three. You said name three of them.
Component testing,
integrative testing, and end-to-end. I'm going to use that in one of my messages next time, boy. You think I'm joking? Watch, I'm going to be up there and see when you you got to have the end-to-end testing. Anyway, let me stop.
I'm done.
Come on, Brother Jedi. Let them know what's going on over here. What you been gaming on, bro?
Well, I've been on The Last of Us, though I haven't picked it up in a little over a week. I haven't really had the time, but I got as far as meeting up with Henry and Sam.
Okay. Is this the original or this two?
This is the original.
This is the original.
Is that the black dad and kid?
Yeah, exactly. I just met up with them.
Okay. And, I won't say nothing.
Yeah, I would say a little over a week. Since I've done that, I haven't gotten a chance to pick it up, but I'm still primarily on that Call of Duty Mobile. I picked it back up. They did some updates to the game, and I didn't like the way it felt. But they did some more updates, and the feeling is somewhat okay. It's still not like what it was originally, but for the most part, it's okay. They have done a lot when it comes to the accuracy on the sniping, though. A lot of times you're sniping and it's like you clearly got the red dot on people and you're like totally missing these shots. But yeah, in that regard, they fixed that up. But yeah, really, that's it. Just a lot of working now. This coronavirus has changed a lot of things. I don't know when the last time I've been on with you guys. I know for the past couple of weeks, we haven't been on Sundays, and I wanted to actually make sure to get on today since I know we was running. But when was the last time you guys actually ran the podcast?
Actually, I think the last time you was on. Maybe one time after that. It's been about 3 weeks. Cool. So we ain't been on either. So, man, it's hard sometimes. It's hard to get together.
Thursday thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I seen you post on Twitter that we were going live tonight. I thought it was 10 o'clock, and then I realized, I guess you guys are already daylight savings time because it was 11 o'clock for my time. Usually it's 10.
Is it? No, I don't think we hit it yet.
Okay.
No, we haven't changed nothing yet with
Yeah, you scared me, Jed. I was like, wait a minute, let me go up and check these clocks so I can be at work on time. Shoot, no, we didn't set it. I think I set it for 4 all time. So we normally set it for 3. So yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
right. I thought we was like on daylight savings time. I jumped on around 10 o'clock, and I was like, oh, I got like 60 minutes left. But yeah, that's all I've been gaming on really. Oh, I did buy a subscription for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Okay.
And I was downloading some games, Horizon, Gears, and
I gotta play that Gears.
What is this game? Resident Evil 7. I've not played any of those, but yeah, I think it was like $13 a month.
Is that
Or
for the
13
PC?
euros, I should
Did you
I
get
should
it on the
say. Yeah,
PC?
for the PC.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just wanted to check it out because I know we're going to talk about it, but I'm really interested in what Microsoft is doing for next gen. But
Okay.
as for me, that's it. That's all I'm doing.
Okay, cool. All right, Mr. Norris, man. First of all, let me get this out. Welcome to the show. And let us know what you've been gaming on, bro. If you talking, you muted. Mr. Norris, is he there? I know he didn't sneak in on us and sneak out. Oh, there he is. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
Man, listen, using your phone and having your Wi-Fi on, you don't realize that thing is trying to connect to everything. It's so annoying. I'm sorry. You be here, everybody clear, and all of a sudden y'all just disappeared. I was about to say I haven't gained on anything, but that's not true. I actually did play Battletoads.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask you how that was. Go ahead.
I didn't play long. I played a little bit, and it's like Streets of Rage. Was it Streets of Rage that just came back out?
Yeah,
it's similar to that, but it just feels slower for some reason. And I tried all the characters; it just feels slow. But I can see how people can get into that game. But it's definitely not the old Battletoads. But then again, that was a younger me versus the older me, so I don't know. That's pretty much the only thing I've gained on. If you haven't, definitely check it out, especially if you got Game Pass. I mean, why wouldn't you not check it out? Especially like me, I just checked my account, didn't realize I was still paying for it.
Wow.
And I just paid for Stadia. Didn't even know I still had it. So yeah, but that's all I gained on, man.
That baller life, but you ain't gotta look at you. Hey, is there? Take it. No, I'm just playing with you. But no, that's what's up, man. So first of all, I ain't heard nothing about Stadia. K-Bum, you still playing? You still playing your Stadia, bro?
Huh?
I said, let me clear my throat. Are you still playing on your Stadia?
Huh? So the problem with Stadia is not the system, it's not the architecture, it's not the infrastructure. The problem with Stadium is that it does not have games. If they would have games, man, they would be absolutely legit. The infrastructure is there.
Okay.
Like everything is there except for the games. They're a worse version of Xbox.
Okay.
Because Xbox has some first party games.
Yeah, I was
They
about to
got
say
Halo.
shots fired, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Now y'all know this coming from a Sony guy, right? Y'all heard that Sony love.
Whatever.
I'm messing, bro. Yeah, it's a Sony guy.
Xbox
Let's
don't
just
got nothing going for them when it comes to games. They got Halo. Which
save it. Don't go there yet. We ain't even got
great matter. Shadow
Hold up.
looks like Dusty.
Hold up, man. Hold up. Let me get my gaming out. We gonna go there.
Right, I'm done. Go ahead, man.
So for me, man, and I don't understand Nintendo at times, and if I'm wrong on this, y'all correct me. But did Nintendo do any personal advertising for Hot Shots Racing, like what they when they do they indie showcase and stuff like that? Did they have Hot Shot Racing up there? Show me if y'all saw that in the live chat. Did Nintendo do any showcase of Hot Shot Racing for, it's made third party? I'm just curious. I'm going to wait real quick because I know y'all delayed behind me. Oh, no. Oh, that's K-Bomb. What you doing in the live chat, bro? See what they talk. If y'all saw anything with Hot Shots Racing from Nintendo with one of they indie directs or they partner showcase, let me know because what I'm about to say, I don't want to be incorrect. K-Bomb, did you see anything? Jedi, did you see anything? Keith, did you see anything?
I didn't even know the game existed.
Okay.
This is my first time hearing it.
I saw it because of you.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it that they didn't, and it's this type of stuff that kind of makes me scratch my head with Nintendo because this game is amazing. This is an amazing game for Nintendo. And I would say right now, if I was to be honest, it's probably the best outside of kart racing. It's probably the best racing game on the Switch. This game is excellent. This is a good game. Very good controls. Nice graphics for what it's doing. I mean, it's not trying to be what we did with it is really pixelated and drawn from that Sega, that old school Sega Saturn, that era. He said, yeah, it was in one of the more recent ones. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cav. I didn't want to be. I didn't see it. So I was kind of like, Nintendo, why would you not showcase this? But anyway, this game was dope. It's dope. The controls is amazing. It runs at 60 frames per second. It's actually on par with the Xbox One version. I think it's running at 900p. I don't know why they couldn't get it to 1080p. And we're going to talk about that with Mario 64. Why Nintendo couldn't get that up from 720p to 1080. I don't get that. But it's running at 60 frames per second, solid, no dipping. It's 900p. It literally looks like the Xbox One version. And it's running on the Switch. And I got it for $15 because it was on sale that day and I didn't want to miss it. But it's definitely worth the $19 if you are interested in something you could just jump in, have a real good time because it's really fun. I'm not going to front. It's a fun game. It's challenging. I love the drifting in it. I love I guess the only thing I don't like is you can never really just totally outrun the other cars on the stage that the computer, it got like a, what they call that, rubber band, what they call that?
The rubber band system, that Mario Kart.
Like Mario Kart. Yeah. And that kind of is upsetting because I know I'll be thrashing these cars, but because of the rubber band, I'm never really just leaving them. They always there. So, but it's a fun, challenging game. And I would recommend anyone that got a Switch or an Xbox or a PlayStation because it's on all three to pick it up, man. It's a good game. Also, I've been playing that Ghost of Tsushima. I'm on the third act. The acting in this game is just superb, man. I mean, there was one scene and it hurt. It hurt. That scene almost brought it did kind of bring up a little tear because I was not expecting that to happen. There's several tear jerkers, but they didn't get me. None of them really made me cry or made me feel like I wanted to cry. But the one scene when I lost my companion, man, my buddy that's been with me this whole way, whoo, that hurt. I ain't gonna say what happened or who lost.
I experienced that. I know what you're talking about.
Ooh, that hurt, man. I felt that. Like, you be like, why are you crying? Yeah, that one got me. That one got me. Right back. Yeah, so I'm enjoying Ghost of Tsushima and Hot Shots Racing it's just a good game. I saw you playing it leveled. I thought about getting it. It's good, bro. Cav, get it, bro. I mean, I wish you would have got it when it was 15, but hey, it's 19 now. It's still worth the 19. That shouldn't be a deal breaker. It's a dope game, bro.
Hey, level. You do know that's Dark Sun Rider, right? Dark Sun Rider.
Oh, he changed his name. Dark Sun, don't be sneaking up on me with some Cav and O. What's up,
Dark
man?
Sun
All right,
Rider.
Dark Sun. All right, my bad.
Okay.
I'm thank you for the K-Bun.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah, he's like, why you keep calling me Cavo? Okay, so that's Dark Sun. All right, welcome to the show, Dark Sun. All right, but yeah, man, I would definitely pick it up. Great game. I mean, it looks good. It's fast. It's quick. It's challenging. They will bump you all over the place. The AI is pretty good, especially when you get up into the hard and the harder levels. Like on normal, once you get the controls down, you gonna find which car that works for you because they got different. Like pretty any other racing, you got like Mario Kart. Different cars have different settings like speed, acceleration, drift. That's the three different things. So one car might have good acceleration but horrible drift. Another car might have good speed, good drift but horrible acceleration. So you find which one works for you, and then you go out there and you do what you do. And it's like I think it's want to say around 9 different drivers, and they all got character. They talk through the whole game. They say some witty, funny, comical stuff. They trash talk. So the Jamaican dude was funny to me, and then I've been using a Russian dude right now, and is he Russian or German? One of the two. He Russian or German. I can't remember. But man, he be having me cracking up the stuff he say. And so yeah, go check it out, man. If you got $19 to drop, I would say that's one worth getting. Anything else before we go on to our topics? We have spent 30 minutes, and because I want to give us ample time to have this discussion. Are y'all ready?
Let's do this.
Let's do this. All right. So, topics on deck: $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. Did they get it right? That's one. Second topic is why messaging matters. Ooh, I think that's gonna be a good one. The third is Nintendo still dominating, but what's next? Meaning the Switch is still doing its thing. I ain't meaning they dominate, but they doing really well. But in the conversation of what's going on with next gen, what's next for them, and then the fourth conversation is it's time to end the console wars. All right, so do y'all just want to stick with this order? Let's just stick with the order. $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. Can I get a no? Did they get it right?
We don't need none of that.
K-Bomb 20, I'm gonna come with you first. Did they get it right? $2.99 Xbox Series S, $3.99 PlayStation 5 discless, $4.99 Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 with the disc. Did they get the pricing right?
All right. As a consumer, I always want them to be cheaper, but being realistic. So being realistic, looking at the full picture for what it is, for what it's worth, what they're having, what they're giving, what's in the box. I like it. I'm gonna come out and say it. I'll be the first one. I say I like it. Because we had fears of $5.99. We thought that fifth was gonna hit us. We were ready for it. We was ready for that fifth.
That fifth.
That's $5.99. We was ready for it. And I was gonna be unhappy. I probably was gonna be in line getting it, but I was gonna be ready for it.
A reluctant buyer, huh?
Yeah.
I hate y'all, but I'm hating y'all for making me buy this.
Yeah. But that's what I did with the anyway. I got the PS3 on. Anyway, let's beyond that point. So did they get it right? So I'm gonna say yes. So I'm gonna start with the lowest man. I like Xbox trying to come in and do something different. Right? This is kind of a play out of Nintendo's book. Just get the console in the people's houses. How you do that? Making it affordable, make it cheaper. The Wii won, and I'll say this. Mostly the Wii won because it was cheap enough that everyone can buy it. Even if you didn't play it, you bought it and you said and it collected dust.
It didn't feel like you lost anything from spending. What was it? $199? $299? Yeah.
$199?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they had Wii. It was so cheap. Businesses were buying it. Huh?
Was it $249?
$249 at first.
Yeah.
Probably was $249 at first, and then it dropped to $199. Yeah. It dropped to $199 at one point. But it probably was $249, and so you had cruise ships with Wii's for their entertainment in the kids' suites, and they had Wii's in the old folks' homes, and like they just had it cheap enough.
Look at it.
I'm not throwing jab. I'm being real.
I know, but it sounded jabbish, but I know it's the truth. But it did have a little. It felt a little jabbish, came up.
Only because it's coming from me. Because it's coming from me. That's why it sounded like a jab.
It had one in the old folks' home. People just have old folks' home.
Pottery Barn. Don't forget Pottery Barn.
Oh man. Okay. Let me get back to the point, man. Gee. All right. So it was a playbook. It's a playbook out of their hands, right? Get it cheap enough. Get it in people's hands. Get it in tune so they can buy the games. Yes, let's get it at a lower price. I don't think it's that great of a value personally for me, because it says it's a next gen system. I don't really think it's a next gen system. I think it's a system that plays next gen games, but I don't really think it's a next gen system. I think it's more of like a similar to the. How much more powerful is it than the
Series
yeah, the one that came out before? No, the one that came out before.
the Xbox One X.
Yeah. Right. It's not that much
I know
powerful.
I know the architecture in this one is using all the same architecture as the series, except for the CPU. I think the CPU is the same as the. I don't know if it's the same, but I think it's the same as the Xbox One X. But the GPU is what's in the Xbox Series X. I think it's just lesser gigaflops or something like that. I can't remember how it works, but yeah, it's something like that.
So it's in between. It's
teraflops.
in
Yeah, I said gigaflops. I'm bad.
Yeah, it's in between. It's not full fledged. It's not something I
know it's 1440p.
It is 1440p.
It runs 60 frames per second. It will have the ray tracing. It will have all the same thing. It won't be able to push up to
the 4K.
He said the CPU is the same. The GPU is different. Okay, the CPU is the same. The GPU is different. Thank you, Damien. See, that's why we love y'all being in the chat. We don't have all this stuff.
They keep us honest.
Keep us honest. So I knew one of them two was different, but it's supposed to have running like 5 to 6 teraflops rather than the 10 that the Series X is running.
12.
12. Is it the PlayStation is 10?
12.
Then? The PlayStation is
PlayStation 10.
Okay,
yep.
So the 12 that the Xbox Series, doggone it, man. The X is
too many names. They have jacked up these names, bro.
Yeah,
this
the
is hard.
X is 12 flops, and the S is I think 6 or half of that. Yeah, half of that teraflop. So the CPU is faster than the PlayStation 5 though. I didn't know that. Damien again. So go ahead, K-Bum.
Yeah. So the pricing. Let's go back to it. So $299. I think for what they're trying to do is good. I think it's a win for them. I don't know if hardcore. It's not for hardcore, so that's great. It's for casuals. It's to get the system into their house. It's perfect. It should get the job done. It should be good enough because casuals don't really care too much about pushing 4K. Most of them still probably just transitioning to a big screen TV. So I think it's perfect for the audience they're trying to shoot for. The $399 for the discless PlayStation. So I think that's perfect. That is a great price. It's better than the full $49 that it could be because they are taking a hit because the disc drive doesn't cost $100 or even close to it. It's more on the lines of 20 and 30 when you're buying in bulk. So they are taking a hit by making it $399, but I think they have to do it. They have to create a bigger difference, and being in that in-between point between the two Xboxes, I think is a great place for them to be, because then you can say, I can get the full experience without the disc by paying just $100 more, and people could justify the $399 compared to the $299 from the Xbox. So I think that's a great place. It'd have been a harder sale if they came in at $449, and then people would say, I might as well just get the either the $299 or just get the full blown systems. I'm paying only $50 less.
Can I add this tidbit of knowledge? I don't know if you know. I'm pretty sure you do, but I'm just in case you don't. I know the discs or full digital PlayStation 5 also has less, don't have as much storage space as the PlayStation 5 with the disc. Like it's running, I don't know, I think the PlayStation 5 with the disc has a teraflop, and the
I don't think that's true. I thought they both were running 825.
Okay, if I'm wrong on that, then that might have been wrong. Then what I heard.
The question is it 825 with everything on there, or is it just 825? Because I never knew Sony to have a full terabyte hard drive. And when they were announcing,
I mean, you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like I heard it don't have as much storage space as the $499 SKU.
Which I think is stupid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you going full digital, which both of them really are digital. One just let you buy a physical disc to put your digital information on there. Why give you less storage space than?
Okay, both of them. They're both 825.
Okay. All right,
that's what I'm saying. When Sony announced, they only announced one size. It's because this is a custom hard drive. They only announced one size, which is the 825. I didn't hear anything about a terabyte. That's why when I heard it, I'm like,
okay. All right,
Okay,
then
yeah, they're
what
both
I read,
825.
then the person I was reading from was wrong then, because I heard it was less,
Yes.
but that's okay, cool.
No,
Go
I believe
ahead.
they both 825. So at 399, I think that's a good point. It's in between. They're taking a hit. I think that they're going to get their money back because they're going to be able to charge all digital. They get all the access money. I think that's a great choice for them, especially when them going 699, which is, I mean, $69 just for the games. That hurts. Sony was the first
Yeah, I
to
forgot
do it.
about that.
Thanks, Sony. Thanks, Sony. You suck. So I think that's a good price. And then both big systems, full system, $499. I think that's a good price. We were pushing $599, so I'll take $499. I think they're hitting all the right notes. They're in the right places. I think it's good for next year. And
Did you read that what Damien said? So you have to take away the space for the UI, which would bring it down to 650.
I think they may hit about. I think they may hit around low 700s. I think 650 is too low because you have to have the UI and you have to have memory storage. There's a backup system that all hard drives have. So anytime you ever buy a hard drive, you buy a terabyte, you never get a terabyte because
Okay.
you get there's like this there's a backup memory system, internal memory and security that takes up space on a hard drive. So I don't see it dropping to 650. I think that's too low because that's almost a full 200 gigabytes. I see it hitting probably maybe 710 or something like that. But I don't see it hitting 650. I think that's almost 200.
Yeah, I would like to
gigabytes.
see. Yeah, put it in there where you got that from, Damien, so we can go and fact check some of that.
Yeah,
because I've been
see
the stuff I was been reading. Y'all already kind of that's not correct. So I got to bounce back off some of my information. So I haven't got nothing straight from Sony, so I don't know. So I won't. But yeah, if that's the case, that is a tremendous drop, even from the 825. That's still a good, a sizable drop. But go ahead and finish up, man, so I can bring these other brothers in. So of course you said $299 with the Xbox S. You thought that's cool for entry level casual gamers. $399, you thought that was good. $499, you said what?
I think he good on prices. Yeah, I think that he good on all the prices. I mean,
okay,
that's how I feel. I definitely think they could be cheaper in some places, but as far as what we thought things would be at, yeah, I think they're good.
Yeah, if y'all got information, send them all y'all. Let us know, man. We read what y'all saying, and we don't have all the facts either. So between ourselves, we got what we got, and then we'll pull from y'all from time to time if need be to get stuff correct. So put it down in there.
So I will point this out before I leave. So I'm looking at my system right now. I have a terabyte inside of my PlayStation that I bought myself, and right now it says available. I have 860, so that's about 140 that it takes off for UI and memory. So I don't see that close to 200. I see about 140, 130 is taking off. So that would put it around either high 600s or low 700s. I don't see it at 650. That's way too much.
Okay. We ain't done. We're gonna come back on this topic and these others because I think it's gonna run into the next topic as well. So Jedi, man, what's your thoughts, man? $299, $399, $499. Did they get it right?
I would say they did. I think the best value is the $299. I think that Xbox Series S is legit. I was hoping that what they did was they didn't ignore the 1440p aspect. This is back when everything was speculation. I felt like to go from 1080p to 4K was, something that you can do when you have like the flagship console. But once we heard about the Xbox Lockhart, I was hoping that this was a 1440p machine. I think that's a real sweet spot. Like, I'll play certain games on my PC, and I got a GTX 1080. So there's certain games that I can max out at 4K, but if I try to do ultra, I'm not gonna get like crazy bleeding frames per second. What I realized is that when I put that on 1440p, I get all the frames, and I really can't tell the difference on my television.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Series S to be a 1440p machine that can push 60 to 120 frames per second and have these games that are next gen, that to me right there is that is a win. That is a win. I don't like the fact that it doesn't have a disk drive, and that's a personal thing. Not that I have a problem with digital, because my Nintendo Switch, all of my games are digital, and usually I'm not the type to do that. But
Hey,
just
yo, Jedi, the
I'm
chat saying
finna, I'm finna, I'm
your
finna
voice is a
handle it.
little low.
I'm gonna
All right,
handle
you
it. I'm
got
gonna
it.
see if I can fix it from my end. Go ahead, Jedi.
Okay, cool.
yeah, my bad. Maybe I have my mic too far away. Is that
No, I
better?
got you. No, you good.
Okay. Um, generally I'm a digital, physical guy, but with my Nintendo Switch, I noticed that I went all digital. The thing is, I have old games, and I was really, really hoping that this backwards compatibility would be like all of the games, because I really want to get into my All Pro 2K8s and my ESPNs and my NFL Head Coach. The only problems that I see now is I'm looking at the list of the games that were backwards compatible for the Xbox One S, and none of those sports games are on there. So I don't really know what is gonna go on in terms of backwards compatibility. That is a real selling point to me. So with that said, I think that just pure specs, the Series S, I'm really digging what Microsoft has done there. In terms of the diskless PS5, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting one. With the Series S, not only are you getting this at a sweet spot in its 1440p, but they're giving you Game Pass Ultimate and EA Play. So you're getting the backwards compatibility, you're getting Game Pass, you're getting EA Play. So like for people who are like Halo heads, and they were really hoping that this game came out, I think Microsoft really hit it out the park in terms of overall content to provide for the console release, especially with it being a real unusual year. I think Microsoft did a fantastic job, and it's rare that I ever say anything remotely close to that when it comes to Microsoft. I really like what they did this upcoming generation, way more than what I felt that I've seen from Sony, like by a long shot. With that said, the discless PS5, I'm not really impressed with. I also heard that the hard drive is smaller in that one. Maybe that isn't true, or maybe they changed that, but I did hear some rumors about that as well. But I don't know. I'm not excited for the PS5. The backwards compatibility is only going back to one generation. I hear like the PS3, the PS2. Like we're too far down the line when it comes to um, capability technologically, for us not to be able to do those things. People are really supporting these companies, and they should be able to bring their games over, whether it's digital or if they have physical, to be able to play on these updated machines. And I feel like Sony's just dropping the ball with that. In
Didn't they
terms of
change
the
some of that though, Jedi? I mean, you're right. They ain't doing it like Microsoft. Nowhere near what Microsoft is doing. But didn't they kind of about face with the backwards compatibility, saying that? Oh no, they did that more with the cross gen. They did. Never mind. Go ahead. You're right. I'm thinking of
Yeah,
something
no
different.
problem. If they did, I didn't hear about it.
No, you're
But
right.
the
No,
only
they
thing that
ain't
I've
doing the
heard
backwards
is that
compatibility.
they were going to support, I think it was the top 100 or top 200 PS4 games, and then basically PS3 and PS2 and PlayStation was just like irrelevant.
No, I want to make sure I correct that because people have been getting that wrong. They didn't say they were going to just support the top 100. They said they're making sure that when you get the PS5, the top 100 is going to be working. They're going to try to support all of the PS4 categories. So people have been getting that quote wrong.
All
They're
right, cool.
trying to support all, but they wanted to say the top 100 is going to be working as expected when it launches. That's the difference.
Let me send this shout
All
out
right.
real quick before you continue, Jedi. Shout out to Cowboy Fan 404. Welcome to the show. He said a lot of children are going to be able to get a new console for only $300. If you're a parent, you can't beat that. I agree 1,000%. Go ahead, Jedi.
Yeah, I think that is a bit of a kudos to Sony then, because if they're able to support an entire library from prior generation, then that's better than the top 100. I still feel that PS3 and PS2 and PlayStation should be supported. But in all actuality, I'm really digging what Microsoft presented. I think that they really listened to their audience, and they really took that into consideration and made sure that they provided something that would benefit every gamer. In terms of the $500 boxes, I like the Series X. I like what it provides. I like the power that it brings, the bang for the buck. Again, everything that comes with it, in terms of Game Pass and EA Play, and being the most powerful console in the world at the time. I think that Microsoft is killing it. I don't really know too much about Sony. The regular disc PS5 is okay. It's a $500 box, but I don't feel like you're getting any type of value from that unless it's a situation where you really love the games that Sony have as like first party titles. I'm a casual Nintendo fan, so my perspective, my outlook on this is much different. In terms of value and wanting to get my attention as a person that doesn't really have a dog in that race, Microsoft is killing it. I gotta give them 120% kudos on that. They are killing it with this new gaming generation. But that's my take on it.
Okay. All right, Mr. Norris, what's your take, bro? $2.99, $3.99, $4.99. Did they get it right?
I like the fact that you keep saying that. $2.99. Yeah, I believe they got it right. I was been listening to everybody.
You're a little robotic. I don't know if it's probably your connection where you're still on your phone.
No, I'm on my PC now. Does it sound better?
No, it still sounds like you talking through one of those Bane masks.
Yeah, there's a lot of static going on your end.
Yeah, like
it does sound like the Bane mask though. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still doing. Let me say something real quick.
Something. Let me plug my mic. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Still the same?
It's better. It's way better. But go ahead.
Okay, Lordy. I'm gonna step back just a little bit too. They got it right, but there's a few caveats. I was looking at the specs for both consoles, and they're both running an AMD processor, which is a second gen AMD processor. If you get in between that processor alone, it's like $230 right now. You know what I'm saying? So did they get the price right? Absolutely, because the processor alone is the whole console. I think in terms, and I heard Perry say this. I don't know if you heard him say this, but he said that Sony kind of still gets the W because the all digital version, although it may be $399, it's the full console.
Yeah, I did hear him say that. Yes.
Yeah, it's the full 4K version of it, and it's cheaper. So technically, you got a $399 version console going up against a $499 console if you don't care about having a 4K Blu-ray player. You know what I'm saying? So I can see his point. And then, but also,
hold on real quick. Your level, they saying they can't hear Keith at all.
At all?
Okay, you can't hear. I don't know. I hear you. I see you coming through on my end, so I don't know.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I'm turning my mic up.
Yeah, let us know if you hear now. Keep going, D2. Keith. We'll see if he. Let him know if you can hear him once he keep later on in the podcast. Just keep talking. If he just let us know if you still can't hear him.
Okay. So I turned it up some more. But I went on the Sony website, but even the Best Buy website, I couldn't find out how much space is on the all digital version. I don't know if it's the same or what. Sony definitely got to get the messaging. He still said he can't hear me. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna come back in.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's okay. They say they hear you, but it's kind of distorted a little bit. You say you're gonna come back in,
Yeah.
Keith? Okay, I go, and then when he get right, I bring him back in. So for me, I think the pricing is right. I think they got it right. I think Microsoft is that $299 is attractive. You know, and I think who said it? Cowboy fan 400, 404 basically hit it right on there. Parents are going to jump at that $299. Is I mean, and Jedi hit it too. He said that the 1440, you really can't tell the difference between the 4K. Now, is there a difference? Yes, there's a difference. But if you ain't got the TV to show it, and I'm pretty sure Jedi got the TV to show it because I know he got K-Bomb TV, so I know he got the TV to show it. But at the end of the day, it ain't that much of a difference. So you ain't losing much, and everything else is there. So I think far as pricing, and that's why I made the second topic, why messaging matter. We're going to get to that in a second. But I definitely think the $299 is a great price. That's going to put pressure on the Switch, the Nintendo and the Switch. Now, maybe that's where the Nintendo and the Switch and the hybrid aspect of the Switch may still make it competitive. But Nintendo going to have to drop that price most likely. They're going to have to go to $249 or might have to go to $199 and then drop the Switch Lite to $149. That's probably what they're going to have to do because that $299 and all you getting for that $299 will be a killer during the holidays. Now, to me, the eyeball out is the $399. I think it's great. I think it's good. Because it does, like Cabo said, it does have all the same stuff under the hood of the Beast. The $499 Beast is under the $399. You don't get the DVD player and the you don't get the read disc. So I think that's a good place to be. But I don't think if they trying to get, I think it's really still geared towards more of the hardcore. Like I think that $299 parents are the $299 parents is going to attract parents unless they child just want a PlayStation. And if that's the case, then that $399 is going to be attractive. But I think it's still a good price. I think the $499, I mean, when the stuff got leaked with Microsoft and their prices and they just came out and said, look, it's $299, it's $499, I think Sony had no choice but to go $499. I think Sony might have would have pushed it to $599 if Microsoft stuff wasn't leaked. I think if Sony would have went first, they would have went for that $599. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong on that, but I think $499 is great because I want the B system, and $599 probably would have kept me from getting it because I don't think I would have wanna. I wouldn't have been willing to stand in line and drop that much on it. And look at my wife and this disgust in her face for this grown man and his gaming habits. K-Bum know we both in the same boat. Both our wives be looking at us with all type of disgust and dismay. Yeah, you grown, too grown to be. So that $599, I would have had to wait until they drop. So that probably would have been a few years into, because I wouldn't have want anything but the most powerful one. So that $499 is great for me. So I think they got it right. The $399 one is the one I think it's going to work for hardcore and especially Sony fans who don't care about disc. And I think they're going to go for that $399 one over the $499. Me, I want the disc. I'd rather have be able to prop a DVD in there, a Blu-ray, and watch a movie or whatever, and serve two purposes. So I think they got it right on the price. I don't know how I'm feeling about $69.99 for the games. I don't know how I'm feeling about that yet, which I didn't even put that down as a topic. I'm a little salty about that when K-Bum shared that this game's going to be $70. I was like, bro, no, man, that's I don't know how I'm feeling about that. But the pricing is right. They got the price right. And so to really get off into this, Keith, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Oh, you sound excellent. Go ahead, bro.
So I think it was Jedi who mentioned like the $299 for the Xbox Series S. I'll be honest with you, I don't like it. I think it's a great price, but I also think it's BS on Microsoft's part because they know people are eventually going to want the bigger one, and people are probably going to drop money on this one and then eventually get the other one for just all the bells and whistles. Just like you said, I want the disc drive just because it has a Blu-ray player, but as a parent, and I am a parent, spending a lower price to get the thing. But for me, in the back of my mind, I always have that lingering thing over my mind, like there's a better one out there.
Right.
I want the better one.
That's funny.
It's the truth, though.
It's the truth. Like you got your S20 or something like that, and you're like, man, I should have got the Plus or the Ultimate or something. Like, I want the better one. Like, I'm cool with it because I wanted to experience it, but now that I've experienced it, I want the better one. You know, right. And that's why I kind of like appreciate Sony for doing just, hey, we're just gonna take the disc drive out, but it's the same device. And how Paris was talking, he was saying that it's a $399 versus $499 realistically, if you really want to be honest, because most people are going to buy most of their games digital anyways, disc drive or not. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if anybody caught the earlier part what I was saying. I was mentioning about the processors. The processors in both consoles are like almost $300 by themselves.
Right.
So yes, they got the price right. They probably took a massive hit, but they definitely got the price right. Like you level, I don't care about the $69.99. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Can I actually add on that, Keith? I heard that the SoC for the Series X was $500 itself. Everything else was added after that. The SoC, the system on a chip, was $500 for the Series X.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
They are eating it.
They really are. Wow.
Yeah, y'all SoC and all that. Okay. I'm like, what the world is he saying? What's that going on there? No, if they doing that is kind of crazy. So they taking by what you saying, Jedi, they taking about a $400 or maybe about a $400 hit.
No, it's because that's just the CPU alone, right?
Yeah. That's the CPU, the GPU, the RAM.
Oh yeah.
That's all the same chip.
Yeah.
And all of that together, they if I find the video, I'll actually send it in our direct Twitter conversation. But I heard that SoC was $500 alone. That's not talking about all of the other things, the casing. The chip is $500 for the X.
Okay.
Insanity with what's happening.
Dark Sun Riot said, just wait a few months to get the games. They'll drop in price. That's true too. So let's
not if it's Nintendo.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we ain't talking about Nintendo. We're gonna get to Nintendo. So let's move to this next part. And this kind of is gonna allow us to go into more depths with this conversation with the $299, $399, $499. Did they get it right? Yes, they got the pricing right. We couldn't ask for better pricing. Especially when we was scared that they was gonna be $599, and the disc version $499. Like that's really what it seemed like was gonna happen. So $299 to $499 is amazing. I'm shocked, and if what Jedi Knight said with the CPU and all that, if they really taking that much of a hit, I'm interested to see what these systems can do, because this is where the second topic, and let me set it up. This is to me where Microsoft lost the argument, not the argument, but Microsoft has set themselves at a disadvantage with Sony is the messaging. And I think messaging matter. I think, and I go first on this one. What I noticed about and I feel like it's just time to tilt the hat to Sony. Just give Sony their kudos, whether you believe it or whether they live up to what they pitched is one thing. We don't know if Microsoft gonna live up to what they pitch. We don't know if Sony gonna live up to what they pitch. We have no idea. But the pitch is the pitch. And Microsoft, to me, that's where they fumble. They pricing to me is amazing. They fumble with the message. on to make you feel like you need to get the Series S or the Series X. And on the flip side, whether you believe Sony, to me, Sony's messaging was way better. And I say it like this: Microsoft tried to use the strength of power. They tried to run the 12 teraflops, and they tried to let that be what tantalized your ears, what perks you up as a gamer to turn your eyes towards them. It's 12 teraflops, but they couldn't show it. They could tell you, but they couldn't show it, right? And this is, I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a separate video for this because I feel like people don't want to acknowledge the elephant in the room. We throw shade at Sony, and I don't trust Sony and a lot of stuff they do. But guess what? And that's why the last topic is what it is. I don't trust Microsoft, and I don't trust Nintendo. They all lie. They all fabricate. They all stretch the truth. They all say one thing and pull the rabbit out the hat the next moment, and you be like, wait a minute, you said this, and now you want to pull the magic trick on me. Now that ain't there no more. So all these companies lie, but maybe Sony just know how to lie the best. I don't know, but Microsoft ran with 12 teraflops, but they could not show it. Sony came in with speed and showed it. And I think they understood the message. They could not show the power. They could not show the graphics. They could not show just how better looking over a YouTube stream. They couldn't show you how better looking these games are, but they can show you how faster the games are. And they kind of went that route. Also, Sony knows how to put together a wheel of games to show you their games, and they tantalizing what they call that montage of video game. They know how to put that presentation together. They know how to sell it. They know how to sell it. Whereas Microsoft never, to me, at any point, made me feel like, dang, this mug, I must get this thing, or at least I want to get this thing. You know what I want to get it for? Because I know it's 12 teraflops, and maybe that's all they needed to do. But I want to, like, I'm leaning towards Sony, not because of the power of the system, but the power of their messaging. Their messaging made me, I want Ratchet and Clank. I want, I ain't never wanted to play Demon Souls?
Demon Souls.
I ain't never wanted to play Demon Souls until they showed that. Now I want to play Demon Souls. They messaging, then they showed God of War. They said, and we know, now let's be honest, we know God of War ain't coming in 2021. I'm telling you right now, that game will not see the light of day. If it does, I would be crazy shocked. But I bet you any amount of money that game is going to get a delayed real fast and in a hurry. But to hear Kratos and to see that Ragnarok and to see that, I know y'all like, well, Level, you didn't even like the font of Metroid Prime 4. I know I might be a little.
I was just about to say what they did with Kratos was the same thing they did with Metroid.
It is a little bit. They let us hear them. I'm being a little hypocritical here, but overall, and another reason I know they got the groundwork laid out. They don't have to do much to get to this Kratos game because they already did the groundwork with the last God of War. Unlike Metroid, we don't know what the groundwork is. We don't know what they building from. So, I because I just enjoyed a Kratos a few years ago, I feel like my confidence can be placed in. We might see this game. I don't think we'll see it in 21, but we definitely gonna see it probably top of 22. Just like we saw with the original God, the other God of War. It came at the top. What was it? K-Bum 18 or 19? I think it came at the top of the year.
Yeah.
When it came out. So I bet the same thing's going to happen with this game. But it's that. Their messaging is there. It says, but Level, which company has lied this openly like what Sony has done, and why did Sony show, and when did Sony show its speed? Okay, as far as the lying, like I'm gonna say it again, all these companies lie. Microsoft has lied. Go ahead.
Nah. I don't want to say anybody lied, because this is the same narrative that we had with the Xbox One and then the PlayStation 4. They had the same games coming over. The Switch still got games coming over. That's just the nature of business.
Right.
It's not being about lying. Like, oh, I still get to play these games on the PS4. They didn't say that just because they didn't say the game was coming to the PS4. They said it's coming to the PS5. Where's the lie?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna go there too. I don't. If they did lie, I don't care. That's where I'm at with it. I think and that's where the whole console war stuff needs to. I ain't saying y'all own console war. I'm saying I'm hearing a lot, and it's really being stoked out of console war tensions. And that once you let that stuff go, then you realize all these companies do. Nintendo lied to us a whole lot. A whole lot.
We just got 3 games.
Right.
3 Mario games.
So Sony is a lie. They lie. But I'm going to tip my hat. They know how to put together a killer message. Now, whether you believe the message is one thing, but you can't get mad at Sony because they know how to put together a better message than Microsoft. Microsoft does not know how to put together a message. Seems like Level missed what is really going on. What did I miss? I don't know what I missed. I might not be in what's going on to miss it. So I'm not following.
They probably think you're me. They probably think you're me.
Oh, okay. So go ahead, K-Bun.
So let me jump on this. So I'll tell you guys what Sony does. I've watched Sony from the most part, and I know what Sony does. What Sony does is Sony waits for the right time to reveal to you that they lied. No, I'm being, bro.
But we've been here, okay. But we've been here so many generations. Who cares at this point?
Business.
You are right. Like, you are right, Level, that all these companies lie, and you are right that Sony knows how to put a message together. Sony was not revealing the price until Microsoft revealed it first. They were not going to show you a price until they saw the competitor. Sony knows how to play this game. Let's not forget, even though I know I'm about to get called Sony fanboy here, but this is the fact. Sony has won every single generation except for one. And even then, they came from the back and sold 100,000 systems, 100 million systems still. Sony knows how to put together. And the one thing, the reason why they sold 100 million wasn't because the console all of a sudden got better. It was the messaging. You remember when the PS3 first came out, we didn't know what those commercials were. It had the thing with the crying baby sitting in the middle spinning or something like that, the commercials. With them crazy PS3 commercials, we didn't know what they were trying to show us. Their message was trash. The system was overpriced. The games was too hard to create games for. And then they changed their message. Remember, that's when they came out with "You Gotta Want It, You Gotta Have It." They came out with the rock music. They came out with the white guy who was being the spokesperson, who was the chairman, and they changed their message. And then the system started to fly off the shelf. Sony knows how to message. They know how to get you to want their system. They wait till after the pre-orders to come out and say, "Yeah, these games are coming for the PS4 too." But you had already placed your pre-orders.
And let me say this though. Let me add this. Let me dive back into the old way I approach, because I came in trying to be neutral, but I wasn't. I was a Nintendo guy trying to be neutral, but I was always more salty towards Sony than Microsoft. K-Bum will tell you that. Anybody that talked to me off these airways let you know, if I threw any shade, it was gonna probably be at Sony more than Microsoft, because I liked Sony, but I didn't want to give Sony they due. Microsoft, I never really hated nor loved Microsoft. I bought the Xbox I bought the Xbox 360 with Gears of War, and that's when I really started like paying attention to Microsoft. And then I bought the Xbox One first before I bought the PlayStation 4. I bought what is that? the same team that made the Spider-Man game. They made Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive. I really praise that game. But what I'm saying is, I came to a point to where I realized there's no point in me getting mad when Nintendo, all that time, was lying about their online services, left us in limbo about the voice chat and how we was gonna do that. All this confusion. I can't get mad when Microsoft did all the stuff they did with the Xbox One X. Microsoft changing a whole bunch of stuff. They tried to force you to buy the Kinect. Then all of a sudden they had to fire that dude.
They flip-flop, and the DMR, they flip-flop on that too.
Right. So, yes. So, at the end of the day, I came to this point. Yes, I have I have a preference for Nintendo and their first-party titles. But I will no longer get lost in the shuffle of console war nonsense, giving too much of my loyalty to these people who I don't know, who will never know me outside of my money and the plastic that I bought for them. I will not do it. So now I can see why Sony tends to have the one up on Microsoft 90% of the time. It's not because they do what they do better than Microsoft, because they don't. Microsoft at this point, like Jedi Knight says, probably has the better deal. They probably have the better offer than Sony. But Microsoft don't know how to tell you that. They don't know how to tell you that. They don't know how to show you that. And Sony knows how to show you and make you want what they got, even though, and ain't nothing they showed you was a lie. Ratchet & Clank ain't a lie. All the stuff they showed you is true. But you probably do have a better value with Microsoft. But Microsoft can't show you 12 teraflops. Sony did show you the speed of the SSD. They showed you that. They showed you that with Epic. They showed you that with Ratchet & Clank. They ran on the speed of the SSD. That's why every Sony jock ran with the SSD speed, because Sony actually showed you it. You can see it visibly in your face. So at the end of the day, whether we want to admit to it or not, messaging matters. And at this point in the game, Sony still has a better presentation and a better message that we all know. They have always had it. They have always had great messaging. A few years they mess up, but for the most part, they know how to present Kratos. They know how to present Uncharted. They know how to present Last of Us. They know how to present Ghost of Tsushima. They know how to present their stuff. And then when you get done with it, you got to tip your hat to them brothers over there who put this stuff together. If you ain't wise enough to know where they lying at and where they getting you, you going to get got. And that's what happens. And that's what gives Sony the edge over Microsoft. That's all I got to say.
Chat. They killing me. Dude, we've been here before.
We've been here. That's what I'm saying. There's no point in getting mad about it.
What are we getting mad at? We've been here before. We've been here with the Switch. We've been here with the PS4. The Xbox One. We've already been here. Yeah. Accept that and move on. What are the good things? We've been here.
You know why? You know what it is? They can't let go of the last topic. They can't. They don't realize. I told y'all a while ago. I'm not there no more, man. I got to give people the respect that is. I'm not telling you to go buy Sony. I'm not telling you to go buy Microsoft. I'm not telling you to go buy Nintendo. I'm just saying you got to give the dudes they respect. They know how to put together a presentation. Bottom line.
So let's not act like Xbox did not walk on their little video and said, "We're going to show you gameplay." We're going to show you gameplay. Did we see gameplay?
Man. Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Like, I think
they're all playing the same game.
Jedi, jump in there where you can, man. I ain't gonna.
Microsoft is they're bad at it, though. They're bad at playing this game. They don't know how to make you want this system.
Absolutely. All the way from the first time they showed it and talked about it, all the way up until now, we don't know what Xbox Series X games look like. We still don't. We know the price. Craig, I don't think that's a proper representation, but if it is,
Craig,
that shouldn't. I hope that's not their proper representation of the console. But we still don't. Yeah, we know the price. They got a good service. Like, the service has always been good. They got the online all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, what Sony has over Microsoft, whether it's on the PS4 or the PS5, is that they have the games that you want to play, and that's always going to be their trump card. We're waiting on Microsoft to say that. I don't care how good what is the Game Pass is. I don't care how good any of that is. I don't care if they have the best controller. If they don't have the games that I want to play, at the end of the day, all of that is a wash. It doesn't matter.
Jedi, you got, before I jump back on, because I want to address Damien here, because I just want to get him to understand what I'm saying. But you got anything you want to add to this, Jedi?
Oh no, I'm enjoying the entertainment right now.
Okay, so let me. Okay,
my man in all caps too, though. My man Damien's in all caps.
Okay, so Dan, you said level all that can be done on the PlayStation 4. The SSD stuff is a fad. Okay, let's say it is. Let's say it is.
That's funny.
I think we how long we've been talking to 1080p, 60 frames per second. Wasn't that supposed to be done with the PlayStation 3? Wasn't that supposed to be done with the PlayStation 4? Wasn't that supposed to be done with the Xbox 360? Wasn't that supposed to be done with the Xbox One? We still talking about 1080p and 60 frames still being the measuring stick for the most part. All this stuff is a fad. All this stuff is a pitch. All this stuff is a lie. They never hit none of them marks. It was still 30. They still talking about 30 frames per second now. They gonna give you. So at the end of the day, I don't know if the SSD it could have been done on the PlayStation 4. They never showed it could be. And I'm not saying that, and I believe, and I know that Xbox Series X can do the same thing the PlayStation could do. The Xbox Series X can do it. So let's forget about that. What I'm trying to say is Sony chose to go away from showing you power to show you the speed because they could show that. Microsoft went with the power narrative, but they couldn't show it. Then they messed up with Halo because Halo didn't even look like a next-gen game. They had to reset that whole situation, delay it, because the industry made meme after meme after meme. And look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I was rooting for Microsoft. If you've been listening to Leveled, I've been rooting for Microsoft for this whole way. I wanted Microsoft to stop being treated like a stepchild. I said Microsoft has took on the Nintendo position. It's like they traded and swapped spots, like Microsoft getting clowned left and right. I've been rooting for Microsoft. But I can't make Microsoft give you the proper messaging to sell their system. I can't do that. So
that's funny.
I ain't trying to knock Microsoft because I believe Microsoft has the better system. I really do. And I believe in the future, maybe in a year or so, Microsoft is going to be able to show you that their system is better than the PlayStation 5. But at this present moment, Microsoft's messaging is what put them in the hole. Sony's messaging has been what's been putting them out there in front. Their timing, holding their guns to the chest, which they had the liberty and the privilege of because of how successful the PlayStation 4 was versus the Xbox One run of systems. So Microsoft doesn't have the luxury of waiting like Sony, and Microsoft keeps stepping in their own
doo-doo.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that. I'm saying only on the messaging side. I think the tech, Sony knows Microsoft has them in the tech. They don't have them in the games, which they bought all the studios for. Look at what Microsoft doing. Look at the moves Microsoft is making. They telling you we know where our problem is. The only thing Microsoft needs to fix is their messaging. How they presented Halo was trash. Even though the game didn't look great, even the way they presented Halo was bad. So I'm not trying to dump on them. Go ahead, Jedi. I ain't trying to knock them. I'm just trying to be honest.
I haven't had a problem with Microsoft's messaging, but that Halo presentation was epically bad.
Jedi, get up in here, Jedi. Don't you be in the chat, Jedi. I mean, D2K, get in here.
D2K in the chat.
Man, what you doing, man? Get up in this thing. Microsoft, go ahead, Jedi.
I remember when Digital Foundry put out that Halo video. Yep. It felt like 20 minutes of damage control.
Yep.
Hilarious. And I said, no, you can't sit here and tell me about shaders and shadows. And look, for everything that these companies are saying, and I need a 25-minute Digital Foundry video to convince me that what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing. It was hilarious.
Let me jump back in here. Let me jump back in here one more time. Okay. I see Damien, I see Sim. Okay, let me say it like this. When you before you go see a movie, right? Don't you see the trailers?
Get you hype.
Now, haven't you ever went to the movies after seeing the trailer that got you happy and went to the movies and was disappointed? Like that trailer was a lie.
Yeah, all the funny jokes.
Now, okay, so my point, what I'm trying to say is,
say it now.
A trailer is, and the message is meant to get you to come check out the stuff. It don't matter if you're gonna find out a lot of untruths, or you might not be satisfied. But the whole trailer is to get you to try it out, to find out that you wasn't gonna be satisfied. Microsoft literally, you might say they were telling the truth. They probably shouldn't have. What have we been arguing about this whole time? No, let's be real. Let's be real. The question has been asked, why are you making a new system? And D2K just put it down in the thing. Microsoft has done more to show consumers why they do not need a new Xbox console than to purchase one. That is what Microsoft has been doing. You could call it being the truth, but it was counterproductive. So, if you're telling me I could get the game on the current system, why do I need the new system? Sony never did that. Sony made you think you got to get that new system, and that was their message.
And that's the point.
That's the first mistake Microsoft made.
When Xbox came out and said, there's nothing on the system for the first year or something that's going to be exclusive to the new system, Series X or whatever it's called, they really destroyed their message. Because when I heard that, I was like, so what's the point of a new system?
Bro, look, man, I'm listening. I don't think y'all listening to what we saying. I know all these companies lie. I know Sony is lying. I don't care. Sony has been lying, but I still like the games they got. I still like God of War. I still like Ghost of Tsushima. I still like Last of Us. Guess what? I like Gears of War. I'm not a Halo fan, but I do like they got other games like Perfect Dark is supposed to be coming. What's another game that they said is rumored to be coming? Banjo-Kazooie. All of them read that. I said I was gonna bring it up. Who said that up here early? I forgot. It was I think it was one of y'all said that they got these games are rumored to be coming. So what I'm saying is, why not show you Perfect Dark if you know it's coming? Why not show you Banjo-Kazooie if you know it's coming? Why show us a Halo game that you knew yourself was not going to represent Halo the right way? That's messaging. That is the message. What message are you trying to send me? If you're going to, I don't know how else to put it, man. You ain't never going to see Apple come out and tell you 50 million ways why not to get the next Apple product.
Apple is going to try to. What Apple does, and they are great at this. So they take something. No, Apple does the same thing. Apple takes something that has already been done by somebody else, and they make it feel like when they show it to you, they make you feel like they came up with it.
Yep. Right.
They take so many features that have been done by Samsung. Already done by Samsung, and when they show it in their presentation, you're like, "Wow, Apple, that's awesome! How do you guys learn how to do that?"
But they are like Sony in the fact that when they do it more pristine, or they do it a little bit better. They do. I'll give them that,
and they sell it better.
And I can tell you the truth: Nintendo has been learning how to lie, and it's working. Look, let me tell you something, man. I commend Microsoft. I commend Microsoft in their honesty. I commend Microsoft for telling the truth. I don't think that's what hurt them. I think after they told the truth, after they told you that these games be able to be played on any system, after they told that truth, they needed the pitch, though. They needed the pitch to get you to buy the Xbox Series X. D2K is in the house. D2K take over, man. Let me shut up. The man is here. He's on the mic. Come on, D2K. What I could not say, you can eloquently say. So I'm gonna fall back. The floor is yours.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, how's everybody going?
Doing good.
Oh, we're good. Good.
All right,
Good.
not bad.
Okay, get out of the way. Yeah, I haven't been able to listen to what you guys were talking about. I just caught the tail end of it. But basically, what Level has just been saying, I agree with wholeheartedly, is that they didn't really give you a reason on why you need to go out and purchase this new hardware. And if anything, they made it so that anybody who already owns an Xbox console can feel comfortable that they're not going to be left behind with the next gen. And also people who are casual gamers who are not really interested in spending a lot of money on new hardware for a multitude of reasons can look at the Game Pass and say, well, I'll be able to, play all these games on, my PC that I already have, or this Xbox One that I already have, or, eventually with the xCloud, I could play it on my tablets or phones and things of that nature. So, I'd rather just take advantage of this xCloud or this Game Pass where all these games, over 100 plus games available, and worry about, the Series X a couple years down the line when Microsoft gets their act together. And he also mentioned, how, the commercials, how they get you into the building. We see a trailer for a movie and we say, oh, I gotta go see the movie. And sometimes the movie doesn't match what we see in the trailer. Even you go back to the 80s, we think about cartoons we used to watch. Some of those cartoons had some of the most cold-blooded intros ever in terms of animation,
Yes, sir.
and sound and the colors and everything, like the intro, like the Thundercats or to Silverhawks or Transformers and real Ghostbusters and things like that.
X-Men,
X-Men, but then not all of them, but some of the cartoons, you go back and watch the actual cartoon, you're like, I used to actually like this.
Hey, speaking of that, I want everybody to go back and look at the Japanese version of the X-Men 90s cartoon. Watch that intro. You lose your mind. You were like, I want the show like this.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, they pretty much blew the whole budget on the intro because they knew that was the commercial. That's what we do to draw you in. And Sony has mastered that.
Yep.
The difference with Sony is that they're actually, for the most part, not all of it, but for the most part, they're backing up those flashy trailers and commercials with actual, goods behind it. We may not see a whole lot of first-party games from Sony, but we're going to see more we're going to get from Mike.
Okay. Did he go out? Okay.
I think so.
When D2K show back up, I'll give him back the floor. My thing is this, and I'll let Jedi come in here, whoever want to come in. I'm not saying, understand where I'm coming from. I'm only talking about messaging. And I'm not saying that I don't disagree that Sony pulled some fast ones. But that's a part of messaging. It goes back to what K-Bum said. You might commend Microsoft for the truth telling, but sometimes keeping stuff as a script. I don't want to go there, but I would say something my mom taught me. I say it like this: never let your right hand know what your left hand.
What your left hand is doing.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need to keep stuff to yourself. It might be good, but you don't need to let everybody know, because once you let everybody know, it's like that. It was a messaging nightmare for Microsoft once they let you know what D2K was just explaining. That, and it became a subject of conversation, because we spent a whole year talking about what's the point of the Xbox Series X if you can play all the games on my Xbox, on my PC. I remember Paris and Gamer Tag Radio. What's the point? I don't need an Xbox if I could just play the games on my PC. And it sound good. It sound honest. It sound like Like Phil was just, man, I'm just about the gamer. Okay, now it's time to sell this Xbox Series X though.
Yep.
Now that was good back then when you was trying to beat Sony at being more about the gamer. It worked then, and it did its job. That was a good message for then. It brought Microsoft out of that obscurity, out of that shame spot that they was in, because Phil seemed to be more about the gamer. Now what are you going to do now you trying to sell this Xbox Series X, though?
Dude.
That messages don't work now. Now what
Sorry.
Right, go ahead,
Sorry
D2.
about that. I think the Microsoft cut my microphone off.
Dude, you ain't right.
But yeah, I agree. Once again, I agree. Everything what you're saying is that, you know, the messaging wasn't there, and they pretty much had a time to work with back then, because at that point they were basically trying to say like, hey, you know, don't get it twisted. We still are the quintessential best in terms of giving you the most powerful and the most high-end machine.
Right.
And back then, when you're talking about next gen, people just care about specs at that point. They're not thinking about the games. It's like, well, who can give me the most teraflops? Who can give me the most RAM? You know, who can give me the best processor? That's all you're thinking about at that point. Now that we already know what the specs are going to be, now it's okay, what kind of games you're going to have?
Boom.
And all you hear are crickets from Microsoft. Whereas Sony is showing you, Horizon Zero Dawn, they're showing you Ratchet and Clank, and they give you a teaser for God of War, and Spider-Man, and regardless of when we get those games, at least we know they're coming. In the not too distant future, we don't know when we're going to get Halo Infinite. It's a mess, and you have to give somebody a reason why they should spend especially in this current climate where people don't have that much money to be spending in the first place. At least give them a reason why I need this console. And they have not given you one single reason from day one why you should buy this console, other than the fact that it's there. And that's not going to be good enough. Now, people who have the money to blow are going to buy the Series X, and people who are Xbots are going to buy it. But the casual gamer are going to be like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to stick with this Xbox One I got here and play the Game Pass on that.
Right.
But I think that you guys are answering the question. Look at what everybody is saying, and then double back at what I said when I spoke about the price points and how I praise Microsoft. Everybody is talking about this message with them being too honest. What I see is a company that is being consumer friendly. How many companies do we talk about being anti-consumer? And then the moment a company is consumer friendly, we condemn them for that. Granted, all of the people who have the money to blow are going to buy the Xbox Series X. All of the Xbox fanboys are going to buy the Series X. All of the casuals are going to stay on their Xbox Ones or their Xbox S's and what have you. Some people who don't have a Microsoft machine is probably going to get the Game Pass on their PC. If they don't have a strong PC, they're probably going to get the reduced price Series S. They're not selling you a machine. They are selling you an ecosystem. They're selling you Game Pass, and they're selling you the add-on with EA Play. They're selling you xCloud. They're selling you an ecosystem to where you can either buy the consoles, the dedicated consoles, you can buy a subscription service, you can play on your phone, you can play in your house, you can do certain things that keep you within this Microsoft ecosystem. Meanwhile, you have games that are gonna be more expensive on the PS5 than it is on these same Xbox consoles. And you have the ability to have the stronger, more powerful consoles with cheaper games over at Microsoft. They are doing everything right. I am not excited whatsoever for Sony, and I am a casual gamer. That is saying a lot. They are winning the casual fans. Everyone else who is really deep into the the conversation are so close to the trees that they don't see the forest. Sony is getting their behinds handed to them, in my opinion. They don't have the games right now. We understand that, but we know the games are coming. This is a conversation that's going to last 3 months, and then 3 months later, we know the games are going to be there because the games always are there. They always
Who doesn't
come.
have the games? You said Microsoft doesn't have the games?
Next gen.
I'm saying like
Sony for next
Right.
gen.
like
Oh, okay,
in
okay.
terms of Microsoft not having anything to show right now. That's a
Oh, Microsoft.
topic that's going to last for a couple of months. We know next year that's not going to be a conversation. We know this.
We hope so.
Hold on. So
I think there's a different. I agree with you saying, Jedi, but that's a different conversation than what I'm. That's not.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation. What I'm saying
I
is,
was just about to say the same thing.
and I'm not knocking anything you saying because what you saying is right. I'm
100%
saying,
correct.
I'm saying when the temperature that I'm drawing this question from is what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing from the response to everything that you said. The response that I'm seeing is everybody is still gawking at Sony. I'm not saying I'm gawking. That's why they getting me confused in the comment section. I'm not saying I'm happy, and when I jumped on Microsoft case the last time, it was talking about messaging. I said, Microsoft, you got to get your messaging right. At the end of the day, they have created the fan base that they got to cater to. I'm sorry that Microsoft has spent help with Nintendo and with Sony, has spent generations conditioning the mind for sizzle wheels. That's what you have conditioned the mind for. You didn't condition the mind for the truth. You didn't. So when you tell me the truth and you can't show me the truth, you could tell me, man, this is what we doing, this is what we doing. You got Game Pass, you got this, you got that, you got that. Everything Jedi Knight saying is right on the money. It would take a person who hasn't been lost in sizzle wheel and can see the truth of what it is, who can see the forest from the trees like you can, Jedi Knight. But most people only look for sizzle wheel. And sizzle wheel is what Sony understands this game community looks for, and that's what causes the needle to move to the right or the left based on the sizzle. Sony know how to create the sizzle. Microsoft does not. And because Microsoft does not know how to do the sizzle, they can never get the edge up, even though Microsoft has the better offer. And that's what I'm trying to say. I keep saying Microsoft has the better offer. They just don't know how to tell you they got the better offer.
They need to learn how to flirt.
Right.
Yep.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
I wanted to add something in this.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with what Jedi was saying, because it's something
I
I mentioned in the past that Microsoft is trying to sell you your brand.
Yep.
More than a console.
Yep.
But the problem with that, there's a couple of problems with that strategy in terms of, now, Microsoft obviously they're not hurting for cash. I mean, the company is worth $1.3 trillion. That's their market cap right now. So they can pretty much take a bath in terms of the price of I think both companies are taking a bath in terms of the price of their consoles, because that tech is easily but you just can't get away with selling consoles that price in this current climate. You just can't do it.
Right.
But the problem that I have with the Series X and the Series S, as a matter of fact, and I think I mentioned this in the comments section, in the group chat rather, is that the Series S is only 512 gigabytes of SSD space. This is a digital-only console. You're gonna run through that pretty fast with these new next-gen
It's only
games.
512?
Yes. 512 gigabytes for the S model. Digital only, so you don't have a disc that you can rely on. So you're going to have to get an SSD upgrade. That's another $219.
I think that was the system that had the different. Okay, I had it wrong. I thought it was Sony, but it was Microsoft. Go ahead.
$219 that you have to get. You're going to have to, because one Call of Duty game could take up half of that space.
And you know what's so silly about that? Even on the Series S, they probably gonna have you download the 4K textures and all that other stuff, and it's like, why? And I got the Series X.
Exactly.
Like, what's the point of me having all this extra space that I can't use?
I did hear there's going to be Series S versions of games.
Okay, I was gonna say
I did hear that.
Well, they're going to have
there's also going to be a lot of assets that you see on regular consoles that they're not going to have to repeat so many times in terms of code on these new consoles because they're running on SSDs. They're so much faster, so the machine can access this information quickly. You know, a lot of this space that we're seeing on these consoles is because they have to repeat assets because they need it in particular spots, whether on the hard drive or on the disk, in order for the game to access it. So a lot of the space is just repeated assets. This is something that this SSD is supposed to be alleviating. So maybe, I'm not sure. I mean, this is only the advertisement that they're telling us in respects to the storage. But so I got to give them face value on that. I think that if Microsoft is going to put together all digital console and they're going to make it 512 gigabytes, then they can't have games come out that is going to be 100 plus gigabytes.
160 like Call of Duty. But they can't make anyone do that. Call of Duty is like 160. That's a third party game. They can't make them not do it. The Xbox has no say in that. They can't make them
I'm not saying that they can make them not do it. My thing is that the reason why these games are so large is because these developers have to repeat assets and they have to have it stored because they need these slow machines to access it. These new generation consoles are saying that they don't have to do that. So what would be the reason for these developers to do something, to add something that they don't need, is what I'm saying. So it's not a situation where
I agree with that.
Yeah, it's not going to be as, you know, that's the whole, like we were saying, that's the whole point of the SSD. That's the whole point of the faster RAM. Exactly. That's the whole point of the faster processor, you know, the Zen 2 architecture and all that stuff working in conjunction with it. But we have to also understand that there's certain things that can't be eliminated, and you're still going to have very large chunks of your space taken away from a game install. This is not like just installing part of the game onto your console when you still have the disc to take care of the rest. This is the whole game.
The whole game. That's
that's going on to your hard drive. Now, if you had 1 terabyte like the X was going to have, then you have a little bit more leeway. But 512, that is, I mean, I cringed when I saw that. I'm like, from a consumer standpoint, Microsoft should have gave you 2 terabytes on the S.
They probably want you to use the is it xCloud? They probably want you trying to.
I don't know how soon that's gonna, you know, roll out. I mean, obviously, being able to load assets from the cloud will alleviate a lot of that. But you know, I've used the Project xCloud on my phone before, and it does run pretty good, but it's not ready. It's not game ready. It's not Showtime ready. And I don't think that it's ready for that type of load. I don't think you can ask that much from it at this particular point in time. Now, maybe 2-3 years from now, oh yeah, they'll be able to do that, but not right now. So,
but but this is still a casual console. Let's keep that in mind.
Right, but like I'm saying, that for the casuals, again, like we all said, is that I don't need this thing. I can just get the regular S and just play it, you know, because, I mean, you're only getting, you know, 1440p over 1080p. You see what I'm saying? If I have an X, if I have a 1X, which is what I have right now, I don't have to go and get anything, and I can still play these games.
Yep.
You know, so it's just, for a casual standpoint, there's really no incentive to go out and buy either one of these consoles, because you can play the games on what you already have in the house. But with Sony, I can't play those games anywhere else but the PlayStation.
Well, I know
that-
I know Sony is starting to let some of their first party go to the PC now. I seen some of that.
It's only one so far. I mean, not several.
Okay,
and then didn't even go over very well.
I'm reading some of these comments.
over there too.
You say what?
I'm reading
I
some of
think
this
Detroit
comment
is
that
on there.
says, I don't know what the research. He says, "Come on, guys, just do some research." I don't know what else.
He's referring to the assets of being bigger on the 4K than there being the 144K on the Xbox.
Okay,
and
but-
it's going to be
but-
smaller. Yeah, we know that it's going to be smaller.
Smaller than
but
4K?
512, even with smaller, 512 is still not
Right. We look. Okay. Can we look at the? Okay. Research. If I got an Xbox One now, and I can only
Yep.
fit 5 to 6 games, then what research do I need to know what I'm gonna be able to do with 520 on the next gen?
Well, they're saying that because it's trying to do the 4K for those games that's trying to do 4K, even if it's checkerboard, if it's downloading the 4K assets for that. But if you're doing like the 1080p version, we were still running out of space then.
That's what I'm saying.
Even on PlayStation 3 days, I was running out of space.
Well, I'm looking at these comments here, and you're basically basing this off of what they've told you. You don't know what this is going to do in reality in real time. They're telling us.
And that's what I'm trying. Anyway, you going back to what I was saying the whole time. I'm saying none of us have these systems, so everything you saying you believe is true, you can't prove it until you get that system. So
which one is it? They lie, they tell the truth. Which one?
As I'm saying, we don't know.
We don't know.
That's my point.
Things in the house.
So that's my point. I don't know what the Xbox Series X is going to actually do once I get it in my house under my TV. Just like we didn't know did any of us know that the Xbox One was going to be running at 900 or sub 1080p when we bought it? No, we didn't. We thought it was going to be running at 1080p. But when Digital Foundry and all them started running the games, we started finding out, Microsoft system was running a little slower and ain't pushing out 1080p like Sony's system is. It didn't stop me from getting the Xbox, but a lot of that stuff we didn't discover until we actually owned the system. So the message to get me to get the system does matter. And what I'm saying is, while Microsoft is telling the truth about their cross-gen and all the aspirations about what they were trying to do with this system, the one point they did not do is to give you a pitch on why you still need to get the X and the S. They haven't done that. They have told you why to get Game Pass. They have told you, like Jedi said, I think I'm more interested in Game Pass now because that's what they've been pitching. They haven't shown me why I need to buy the Xbox Series X or the Xbox Series X. They haven't shown me a game that make me desire the system. They haven't shown me any games that's coming that's going to make me want to have the system down the road. I can at least say Sony has done that. I want God of War. Now, I know these games are coming on the Xbox, but it's one thing to know and it's one thing to see. Hey, they said it's coming out 2021. I just told you I do not believe that. I don't. But
we saw the state that Halo Infinite was in, and I don't know if that is enough time to give us what we should see from the horsepower that the Xbox Series X has. What we saw didn't look like, a Zen 2 processor with 8 cores and a Navi GPU technology and 16 gig of RAM and as fast SSD. I didn't see that from that trailer at all. No. Some of the stuff that I saw from Sony, I'm like, okay, I can see what the PlayStation 5 is doing here.
I'm going to say this. Because Damien, I do not understand what you don't get what I'm saying. Okay, when I look at Halo, when I look at Xbox, what game am I looking to get for the Xbox? Name me a game right now for the Xbox that I want to get that they said, that they named, that they showed.
Yeah, they got Forza Horizon.
Fable at some point.
I didn't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's one thing I'm looking for.
I mean, they do got Forza, right? They showed a next gen trailer of that.
Yeah, they
Hey,
did.
it looked better than Gran Turismo too.
I
Right.
think it did.
It did.
In all honesty, it looked better than
It
Gran
did.
Turismo.
I'm not hating.
Forza games have always looked amazing. So whenever they come out with a Forza, I'm never really excited because it's like, well, the last game looked photorealistic. So I mean, how photorealistic can you make it look?
I'm just saying that it's a seller. It sells well.
No, it does. Yeah, I'm saying that. It's always going to be like, yeah, Forza is there and it looks great. It always looks great.
The only first party game so far shown on the Series X has been Gears 5. I won't say that, but this is what I would say, that you make a Tiger King. Well, first of all, let me give you your claps, bro. You up in here. And I'm not trying to offend nobody. I'm just trying to state what I says. You don't have to agree with it. Tiger King. You see Gears. Let's say they would have, instead of putting Gears 5 on the PlayStation, on the Xbox One X or the One, and put Gears 5 on the Series X and showed it first there, that would have made me want to go get the Series X. But that's an Xbox One game. Ratchet and Clank ain't a PlayStation 4 game. It's a PlayStation 5 game. God of War is a PlayStation for now. Now it might end up being cross. I don't know. I'm saying their message up until that point pointed you to the PlayStation 5. Microsoft messaging has pointed you to you play where you want to play, and if you so desire, get an Xbox Series X. I'm saying I don't know how well that message works in actuality, as good as I believe the Xbox Series X is. I still haven't seen what it can do, even though I believe it's going to be powerful. I haven't seen it. You saying what have we seen from Sony? I have seen what I seen Ratchet and Clank. That's what we here for, the games. That game looked amazing. I'm able to compare that game.
That's the only game that looks amazing to me. All those other games look like they can run on PS4.
Right, and everything.
Ratchet and Clank looks like a next gen title. That
right.
game looks
amazing. And that's the only
said,
game. Let me say this real quick, and I'll give it to you, Keith. And everything I've seen on Xbox look like it can run on current gen. That's my point. The messaging with the games outside of the Forzas, which Gears. Anyway, go ahead, Keith. I'm done. I can't explain it no better than what I can't do nothing else. I thought this conversation was gonna be like these girls. They was gonna understand. I'm like, wow, I hit the landmine. I'm blowing up all over the place. Let me shut up, man.
It's mind share. Like let's call a spade a spade. I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't seen any game from Microsoft that says, "Oh, I gotta go get it." All right. This year alone, in the last few months, even with the PlayStation 5 coming out, Sony gave you The Last of Us 2, and then they gave you Ghost of Tsushima that Velvet and Cable are playing right now. It's mind share. Even if those games are far and in between, we know that Sony's going to give you that game. And even when people were saying, "Oh, well, you could play God of War 4, and all we got was a logo." But all we got was a logo. But you know the next game that you got to play because the story is just amazing. Even though I didn't finish it, but the story is just amazing. No, I went back and I watched it on YouTube. but the story is just amazing. It's like, okay, they're lying 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second. You know those games going to be 30 frames per second. Stop it. We're still going to be playing the same 30 frames per second, but it's just the simple fact that Sony is going to give you games that's going to make you want to play the next one and the next one. Microsoft, the everything that everybody's saying about the price and all that other stuff, consumer friendly, that's great. But you don't have the games that's holding me to the things that you're offering me. You don't have the things that's saying, "Hey, I gotta stay in this ecosystem." I'll say, forget your ecosystem and just go play the games that I want on the PlayStation and still play all the third party games that you also have. So it's all about mindshare because we know Sony's going to give us those games. Microsoft and Nintendo, they give up on their products like maybe 2 or a year and a half before the next one comes out. They always do it. Sony doesn't do that at all. That's just my opinion.
Now, I'm firing these comments like I don't feel like I'm sweating, Slim. I don't know what y'all talk. I'm literally stumbling over the fact that I can't see how y'all missing what we saying here. I don't get how y'all missing this.
At this
So,
point
I don't know
level,
what to do.
at this point level, I went into the chat and said it. At this point, it is perfectly fine for us to agree to disagree.
Yeah, I can't do nothing else.
Because you guys, I went there because I said we enjoyed, we appreciate the chat. The chat have been coming with blows from point A to point B. And I love the fact that they've been trying to call us out on what they seem as hypocritical, and we've been able to respond back to them. I love that. I love the fact that at the end of the day, the chat can say, "Man, I don't agree with none of y'all saying," and we can say, we don't really see what you're saying, and y'all still be back next week. I think that's awesome. And you know what I'm saying? I love the fact that we can disagree, because I hate the channels who just kiss their own butts.
Yeah,
they clap their own butts. The chat clapped their butts. Like, everybody sit here agree. I'm serious. Everybody sit here agree, and you sit here like, all y'all wrong. Everybody gonna agree with the same lot? No. I'm perfect. I like the dialogue. I like the fact that we can see two different points, and for me, that's the whole reason why I got on this chat. We got on this podcast. I'll be completely honest with you guys. The whole reason I got on this podcast was the fact that I was able to agree and disagree with Level, and it was okay. So I'm perfectly fine with the chat.
I ain't worried about y'all disagreeing. That's what I'm laughing at. It's like I'm with Tiger King. I'm what it says. No, I'm not stressing. I'm like, I know what I'm saying. I know what y'all are saying, right? Well, not you, but some of the other ones here, like
some of y'all,
like what some of y'all are saying. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, no matter how you want to swing it, you can pitch it however make your arm itch, and you can scratch it however you want to. At the end of the day, you gotta have the proper message for the time.
Yes, you do.
And when you want to, if you want to scream and holler that Sony lied, you can scream Sony lied. Like I told you before, they all lie. I'm a Nintendo fan. Nintendo been lying to me. Look at this year. What have we got? What have we got outside of Animal Crossing? We ain't gonna even be able to get into that conversation. We got to table them two for another time, especially at number 4. They haven't given us nothing but look at the sales, though. It's still selling through the roof. I'm trying to figure out what's causing it. I guess Animal Crossing is good enough. The online still stinks.
They probably backlogging.
Yeah, I don't know. So
they got online still? They didn't count that?
Sony lied. I agree. Sony lied. But what they didn't lie about.
We all agree.
Wait a minute. This what they didn't lie about, though. Okay, we know they didn't say they was gonna do this, or they didn't say that they was gonna let this be cross-gen. They didn't have to. You can assume that if you want to. If they did say that we're not gonna have cross-gen, then they lied. But they didn't lie. They lied about nothing they showed you in them scissor wheels. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all talking about something totally different. I'm talking about the scissor wheel. They didn't lie in that scissor wheel. Ratchet & Clank looks like that. That game is coming. Spider-Man is coming.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. If we're gonna let's pump the brakes on that for a second, because
which one?
Sony is the same company that did Killzone, and
I agree that. That's true.
The game came out, and the game looked nothing like it. So much so that they had to pull something out of their behind for Killzone. I think it was part 3 or something like that. And it still didn't even look as good as the Killzone 2 trailer. So let's not say that Ratchet & Clank is going to look like that. I mean, we get games like that all the time.
I believe it will.
They trailer gameplay already.
They unshowed gameplay. That's why I said
they showed gameplay. But they showed actual gameplay, and it's been.
They actually shown it being played.
I feel you, Jedi. I feel you.
I'm gonna say this though. What about what's that Harbor? What's that game that came out for Microsoft that I bought? Is it some Harbor? With the dude, it looked almost like an Uncharted mix with. It came out on the Xbox. It had like a movie. The cutscenes were actually live acted.
It wasn't Alice. It wasn't Alice.
Alan Wake.
No,
No, it wasn't. It was
wait, no.
no one. Alex,
I know what you're talking about.
some Harbor.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, Quantum Break. When you bought that game, did not look like what they presented at E3.
You know what? I'll take it even way back old school. Remember the original trailer that they showed for Halo 2?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
No,
You don't remember that?
no, I don't.
We watched the YouTube video that there was so many things that they showed in that Halo 2 trailer that weren't anywhere near the actual Halo 2 game for the Xbox.
Right. Now, let me go here. Nintendo 2011. When did we see a Zelda that looked like that? When did we see the bird? What game did we ever see like that on the Wii U? But it got me. But so
or Space World 2000.
Right. So that's the worst of them all. So my point is, we can pull that card with any of these companies. I'm not putting Microsoft down, folks. I'm saying Microsoft only missed one part. They should have created a message for this year, for this season, for this time to pitch the Series X. They should have had a message, a sizzle wheel, and a message for it. I'm sorry, I think they didn't have one. I think they was going to ride off the back of the strength of Halo, and it was going to get them through like Nintendo did with Zelda that year with Breath of the Wild. That's what got them through. The only difference is even Halo stumbled. That's all I'm talking about. I'm not saying Microsoft ain't telling the truth. I'm not saying that.
Can I interject really quick?
Go ahead, Jedi. Go ahead.
Yes, Halo stumbled, but a lot of these games are stumbling, and I do understand that they were really dependent on Halo to be available. But one thing that I noticed, especially once the PS5 showcase occurred, that I was expecting to see that I did not see. We have not seen the next generation of versions of games like NBA 2K and Madden.
No,
You have only seen a very small glimpse of those next gen games. One of them, 2K did it. It was in probably a CGI trailer. I don't believe it was gameplay.
Yeah.
Madden showed it at EA Play. It was only about 15 seconds of it, and you're still not sure if that is
Exactly.
the actual next gen.
It's basically a trailer. They were both. The one with Zion and the one with Patrick Mahomes. They were trailers.
Yep.
You know, we usually by this time, when you have a console launching in mid to late November, you have it, bro. It's the end of September, and we have no idea what the annual sports games are looking like. You know, I can understand that the Halo game is not representing the console during launch, but it wasn't like the Xbox or Microsoft intended for that to happen. You know, it's not like they went without a message. They had a message, and it fell on its face. And then they tried to get Digital Foundry to clean it up, you know. But I mean,
Look,
I swear,
you're right,
they definitely are in their pocket. That's for sure.
Yeah,
you know,
they did.
They tried to get him to clean it up. You know, so it is what it is.
It is.
But my point is, it's not like Microsoft went out there and trust me, I haven't owned an Xbox console since the 360. You know, I am not at all a fanboy, but for everything that I've been hearing for the past hour, I am absolutely hyped for Microsoft. I am not at all hyped.
Get hyped, son.
I am hyped for what I've heard without a game. Without it. I'm hyped for Microsoft, even though I know Halo was full of memes. I don't even play Halo. I'm not even excited for Halo. I've been excited for the ability to play a lot of backwards compatibility, the upgrade on assets, these things that make me feel like, yo, you know what? I can go back and I can play these games that I haven't played maybe in prior generations. There are things outside of just the typical this is the next generation version of games that
Why
they're
can't we have it all?
presenting.
Why can't we have it all, though?
Exactly. And that's all I'm saying.
Right.
It's just that's what they're doing. They're giving it. They're laying it out there.
I'm gonna leave my end of it on this, and everybody in this live chat, as far as on the crew can attest to that. I know K Bum and Keith can attest, and D2 might be it too. Jedi might not have been in a few of the group chats we've been having. I've been rooting for Microsoft, man. I even said in our Google Hangout, I want to see what Microsoft gonna bring, because I believe deep in my heart that Microsoft has the better system. But for me, it's about the games, bro. And I don't care about how. If I cared about power, I would not have a Switch. I bought the Switch because I love Nintendo's first-party games. Right now, Sony has the games that's appealing to me, and Microsoft has not shown any of those type of games that appeal to me. And that's and when they show it, I'ma be there for all of it. Now I know somebody mentioned Gears of War 5 running at 120 frames per second. Right, but even that, how much did they push it at? How much did they haven't, that hasn't been a part of their selling pitch of the Xbox Series X of late. And I can get Gears of War right now, and I ain't played it yet, so I don't really. I want to, but I ain't in no rush to play that. I want some new stuff. I want to see what's coming next, and that's the message that Microsoft has not. What's next? Not what's now. Not what's a blast from the past. Not what's upgraded and can run faster. No, I want to know what's next. What's on the horizon? What great game that Microsoft doesn't have that right now, and Sony does, and that's what the messaging. That's the part of the messaging that I'm talking about. Like,
I'll tell you what,
D2K can name Horizon Zero Dawn, Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man. These are all new games. These are not old games. These are new games. Microsoft has Halo. They said Fable. They didn't show you Fable. They said Fable. And I might sound like I'm not being fair because they didn't show God of War. You're right, but they showed the other ones that I'm talking about. So at the end of the day, that's all I'm talking about. I'm done. Y'all can have it. D2K is on you.
I'll say that Microsoft needs to fire Phil Spencer and hire Jedi as the head of the games division. because he's, he laid it out perfectly clear and eloquently to where you can't really argue against it. And, Phil Spencer, this is the type of dude that'll mess around and let them put Halo on the Switch. Just because he's so friendly, like, oh, why can't they do that? Let's put Halo on the PlayStation 5. Why not? Why can't we do that? He just doesn't understand, things from that nature. But you laid it out, how Microsoft needs to do it, and they, like I said, I just spent a lot of money, building a computer from scratch. So for me, I'm not really interested in these consoles at all because my computer can wreck all of them. So, I'm just telling the truth, But somebody like me, there's other people like me. I mean, think about it. Next month, they're going to be releasing the new and I'm thinking about getting the RTX 3070, which is going to be $500, which is the same price as the Series X, by the way. But, I won't need to upgrade my computer for another 10 years, but I can. But what you get from the Series X and the PlayStation 5, that's it. You're stuck with whatever you got in under the hood until the next generation comes around. So, so from Microsoft's perspective, I already have a One X, and I'm going to keep playing Microsoft games on that and on my PC. The games that I really want to see the best graphics for, I'll get the PC version of that. Games that doesn't really matter, like the smaller games or the low spec games, I can just play that on this Series X or the One X, I should say. So they didn't sell that console to me, and I can't think of anybody else that's selling it too. So I don't know.
Anybody else? Before we get out of here, because Nintendo's still dominating, but we ain't gonna talk about that. So
I got a question. Is Sony still the leader right now?
Yes.
Sony's still the leader. What you mean?
And everybody's been saying that they've been lying, right? I think Microsoft should lie a little bit, or is it?
Or see, I just feel like I feel like the
I
whole.
want to be petty.
I know, but I feel like the whole Sony is lying thing is over. Okay, Sony is lying, but y'all saying it as if Microsoft hasn't. So so Sony lied. My point is,
I thought you was done with your point.
yeah, I was, but Keith brought me back in. My point is this.
My bad.
When I say I'm looking for what's next, Ratchet and I don't care if let's say Ratchet and Clank is cross-gen. I don't care. It's still the next. It's the next Ratchet and Clank. Let me say it again. Breath of the Wild was cross-gen, but I didn't buy it on the Wii U. I bought it on the Switch because it was a new game that came on the new system. A lot of what Microsoft has ain't
new.
is what you already have now. I don't have Ratchet and Clank right now. I don't have the new Spider-Man right now. I don't want, and let me say this, I'm not getting Spider-Man. I didn't even pre-order the PlayStation 5 nor the Xbox One. I'm waiting till I see more to make my decision. What I'm saying currently, if I'm being honest, Microsoft has dropped the ball in their messaging. That's all I'm saying. Now, they didn't say I didn't jump out and buy a PlayStation 5. I told K-Bum, I ain't seen none that I want to get yet. When Ratchet and Clank come, if Microsoft don't have something compelling, I'm getting the PlayStation 5. Bottom line. Why? Because that's the game I want. And when Microsoft has something compelling, I will get it. But at this point, I've seen something that I want for the PlayStation 5. I've seen a couple of games that I want for the PlayStation 5. I haven't seen anything that I want for the Xbox yet.
That's it.
That's the point.
Games. The core of the core of the whole situation is games. And it's not a knock at Game Pass. Everything that Jedi said, right? He should take Phil Spencer's job. All of that. It really is dope. Like earlier I talked about what's the game? Battletoads. It really is dope. But where is that next game, that killer app? That's all we've been asking for ever since Microsoft announced that they was getting all these new studios. We was like, we finna have a bunch of new. No, we don't. We still waiting on Halo. And then according to a lot of people, the last Halo wasn't that great. So it's like you got a lot of room to try to impress us. You know what I'm saying? Sony dropped us 2 gems this year, back to back, this year. Like that's the whole point of having a game console, to play new games, the new bleeding edge games. I don't get it twisted. I like all of those old games. I like the fact that Microsoft is using their assets and their new consoles and their new technology to bring up those old games, but they're old games. The core of it is they're old games, period. Yes, everybody's going to want to go see the new fresh paint of whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm still looking over like, man, where's that next Halo? Where's that next new game that I don't even know about? Like, Microsoft, where is it? Like, I have Game Pass now, but it's because it's $5, but I'm not paying 10.
Right. The killer app is Game Pass, but you can get the Game Pass without the Xbox Series X. That's my point.
That doesn't sell the X. I understand what people are saying, but here's the thing, and here's how I envision Xbox, the next gen of Xbox. I remember when we first heard about it, they were talking about making the most powerful console ever. This was the beginning of their marketing.
I'm gonna have to wrap this up in like 15 minutes. I gotta get.
I'll be
quick.
Got
the warning.
I'll be quick. So when they started they're gonna make the most powerful console ever, and they came back again saying, yeah, this is our dream, making the most powerful console ever. And then we get into the actual scene of the console, and like, cool. And they say again, this is the most powerful system console ever. And then they show the games, and we say, okay, I thought this was the most powerful system ever. Like, this is what you market to me. This is what you're trying to get. You're trying to sell this to me by using that this is the most powerful system ever, and you want me to buy it because it's the most powerful system ever, and you're not giving me anything to show me that this is the most powerful system ever. What you should be saying, what you should be doing, is what you're doing better, which is giving people more ways to play games. You're doing that better than everybody. Market that as your next gen strategy. You're allowing you're doing more for backwards compatibility than you are for the most powerful system ever. There is more you're doing for backwards compatibility. Jedi is more for your most powerful system. Jedi is more excited about what you're doing in the field of backwards compatibility.
Yep.
That is a miss of messages, because if this is what you tout, but this is what you get, you're messing with your message and you're messing up. And your most exciting console is the $299 console, which is not the most powerful console ever. And so that's kind of my issues with them, is that was their point, their selling point, their whole dream for the next gen. That's what they said in E3s. That's what they said in their own press conferences. That's what they said that game's going to be. I have not seen it as of yet. I have not seen a single game that I would want to purchase, because I've purchased every Xbox, but I haven't seen anything that makes me say, you know what, I probably need to get that over there, because it's exclusives that makes me buy another Xbox. And until that happens, I'll be playing my Sony, because I know I love their exclusives. And so pretty much that's how it is for me.
Okay, make your final points, and then we gotta go, fellas. My wife sent the police after me. They y'all don't hear them sirens? I gotta go, folks. I gotta get out of here. They here. Let's go. Yeah, I think K-Bum wrapped it up for me. What he said. That's all I've been trying to say. I know in the comment section, I don't know if these guys have an affinity for Microsoft, and that might be clouding, or maybe they just honestly feel like we missing it. That's fair. I ain't knocking it. You got the right to disagree. We not trying to make you just stick around, and we gonna let everybody know, and we gonna say what you saying, Damien and Tiger and all the ones up in there. But K-Bum kind of just hit it on the nail for me. It does feel like you can't get mad at folks because Microsoft didn't do nothing enough to excite you. And as cool and dope as Game Pass is, Game Pass ain't new. We've been had access to Game Pass. We're trying to see, why do I want Xbox Series X? That's the message I'm trying to see. I can get Game Pass right now. Matter of fact, I don't have to get it. My son has it upstairs. All I got to do is go get the Xbox from him, hook it up to my TV downstairs. I could be playing Gears of War 5 right now. He has Game Pass. So that's not appealing, because the appeal of that has already been made. I want the appeal for why I need to get the Xbox Series X for $499. I want to know why this thing I should have on my TV, what makes it so great. You haven't shown that. You can't get mad at Sony for that. You can't get mad at gamers for saying, hey, I'm not excited about the Xbox Series X. That's Microsoft's fault. Get mad at Microsoft. Stop throwing all your shade at Sony. Oh, they lied. Well, okay, they lied. But they did what they needed to do to get their fan base excited for their system. At the end of the day, that's what they there to do. Let their fan base figure out that they lied. Nintendo lied. We figured out that Nintendo was lying. We figured out that they had trashy online. We figured out that they didn't really have anything for voice chat. We figured out that this doggone online in these old games, that we didn't know they was gonna stop putting games up. They would say, "Hey, we're gonna put games up every month, every so long. We're gonna put 3." How long has that been at? That done slowed down to a creeping, a sludge crawl. So Nintendo lied. Microsoft lied. Hey, don't get mad at them. Get mad at Microsoft because they didn't do what they needed to do to get people excited for their next gen console. That's their fault. Right. Don't throw shade at Sony because they did what they needed to do to get their folks and their fan base happy and excited for what they're doing. That's Microsoft's responsibility. And that's where the console war stuff blinds you. I can see Sony did what they needed to do. Microsoft didn't. And at the end of the day, Microsoft is left holding that bag. They need to explain themselves, and they're going to have to catch up. And that's where it is. That's where I leave it. I throw it to Keith or Jedi Knight.
I'll go ahead and go and get my last final words. Yeah, everything he just said is on point. And at the end of the day, man, it's about where are the games that you want to play, what you want to play them on. Like, the Switch. The Switch is the least powerful piece of hardware that we've ever seen. And what did I say? I can't miss Zelda. I can't miss the next Mario. I can't. No, seriously, I can't miss these games. With Sony, you got all these other games that you could play, the God of Wars, the Horizons, and you could say they cross-gen or whatever. Don't even matter. You can't miss those games. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft, to me, to Keith, doesn't have that game. I have Game Pass because I got it in for $1. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm paying $5. That's cool. I'm happy to have it, but I could cancel it at any time and not miss it. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have that game for me. And at the end of the day, that's all I really care about. You can lie all you want to. Our console is going to be 60 frames and 120. I don't believe it. But do you have the games I want to play? Yes. And I'll go over there and play it. And that's it. That's all it is to it.
Yeah. Jedi.
Yeah. All right. First thing is in the middle of updating my resume. I'm going to send it to Microsoft.
Nice.
The second thing is I gotta support the room and chant Sony lied. Sony lied. Sony lied. Right?
That's hilarious, man. I love it.
And number 3, I'm gonna make sure to keep my PS4 because when Spider-Man Miles Morales comes out, I'm gonna play it on my very old PlayStation 4. Given that they lied, and I know that it's coming to my PlayStation 4.
I know it's coming. It's definitely coming. That's why I ain't buying it right now.
It's built on the same system.
So when all of these new games that everybody's talking about is going to be the reason for them to buy the PS5, I'm going to be buying and playing it on my PS4. And with that said, I am out.
D2K.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, let me get in this. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of people, don't understand that every major corporation, every major successful company lies to get to where they are. It's just a trickle down effect. It's an unfortunate part of society, but that's the way that it is. People lie to get where they are. Nice guys finish last, unfortunately. So Sony lies, Microsoft lies, Nintendo lies. Growing up in my, years, I used to listen to Nintendo lie, going all the way back to the 90s. Coming to your home in 1995, only for your Nintendo Ultra 64. Liars! That game never happened. And that was when I got introduced to Nintendo's lies, then Microsoft came into the picture and they started lying, and Sony started lying, and then they all started lying to who could tell the biggest lies and who could tell them longer, who could tell them more successfully. So it's something you get used to. You just have to not have a knee-jerk response whenever they roll out their sizzle reels and they give you all the fluff and everything to make their system look like the greatest thing that's ever happened in humankind. You just have to wait until the console is actually in the store where you can pick it up and you can buy it, and then you can make your decision on whether or not it's worth your money then. And sometimes, you get a good product and sometimes you don't. But, we can't let their rhetoric make us make impulse buys and impulse decisions with our money, especially now in today's climate. So for me, I've enjoyed my Microsoft, I'm not a Microsoft fan, but I've owned Microsoft's consoles more than the other ones, and I've enjoyed playing games on Microsoft's consoles more than the other companies. So I've enjoyed having games that I bought for the Xbox 360 still available on my console today, and they'll continue to be that way. And I know that I don't have to buy another piece of hardware to keep enjoying Microsoft stuff. And that is a good thing for someone like me who doesn't need another console. There's no reason why I need a Series X at all, ever. Unless they say you can only play this on the Series X and it's an amazing game that's better than anything you've ever seen, which I don't see them coming from. So I can say never. In that aspect, I can say never.
All right, I hate to rush us off, but I got to get my butt off here because I'm finna get in some serious heat. So, with that being said, we'll pick this conversation back up next week and bring a conclusion to it. And the other two,
are we ain't done with this?
Yeah, we done. We done. If you finish, we done.
You said next week. I'm like, hold on now.
We'll pick up where we left off next week. All right. So tune in then, and we'll see y'all then. Till then, deuces.
Peace.
Peace.